don't want to put it. What's up, bug lads, niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. On today's video, we got another Skap Attack video for you guys. And on this one, he just absolutely dismantles a bunch of Kobe haters, aka LeBron fans. Because let's be real, the only people who really hate Kobe are LeBron fans. Why? Because they know he's actually better than LeBron. But they must keep their bullshit narrative being pushed that LeBron's better. So they have to hate on Kobe in order to lift up LeBron. The whole real point of this is that they want to lie like LeBron is better than Jordan. And they know that they have no chance at lying and making LeBron better than Jordan if he's not even better than Kobe. So that's why they have to also hate on Kobe. So in this video, like I said, Skap is going against 10 LeBron clowns, basically, that are coming up with dumb contradictions, typical LeBron fan shit. Now, a couple of them made some decent claims that wasn't too bad, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, typical LeBron fans' behavior, and he just destroys them. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it.
Top 4 in scoring, top 4 in playoff scoring.
He took
7
Michael
trips to the
Jordan's
finals,
blueprint, and he still couldn't be as good as him.
There is nothing more.
Real quick, I know this is just the beginning of the video, but this nigga is absolutely, hold up, I'm talking about the guy he's talking
More impactful than Kobe Bryant.
We're talking about
not his land. Hold up. Give me a second, yeah. Hold up. The way he was just talking to y'all see that his landing. Hold up. That guy. This is a Mikal Bridges. Look at that. I want to put that out there. That's all I want.
and he still couldn't be as good as him.
There is nothing more impactful than Kobe Bryant.
We're talking about Batman and Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Kobe was never a Superman. Kobe's not even Batman.
Yeah.
Kobe is Robin.
Boo this guy. What's up, guys? My name's Skap Attack. I am sick and tired of the diminishing of Kobe Bryant's legacy. So I am here once and for all to shut these 10 Kobe haters up. My first claim is that Kobe Bryant is on the NBA's Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely. Sorry, I got to stop it already. Absolutely the truth. Now, I'm not going to be too long with this little commentary, but Michael Jordan is the greatest. And the next thing to Michael Jordan is Kobe Bryant. So by default, he has to be on the Mount Rushmore. If you want to say Kareem is better than him, I can entertain it. If you want to say, let me see who's someone else that I can put in the conversation. LeBron's not in the conversation, so y'all can stop that. Kareem, I'll accept that. Maybe Magic. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Magic. Who else? Honestly, bro, I don't think nobody else really you can make a real strong argument, in my opinion, that is better than Kobe. I mean, you can throw some names in there that that I'll say, okay, at least I wouldn't be like you out of your mind with. Like, if you want to say, like, I'm not an old head, obviously. But, for the ones that wants to say Wilt Chamberlain and stuff like that, Wilt Chamberlain did have some incredible records, but he didn't have the winning. You know what I'm saying? And then for maybe folks who want to say Larry Bird, if you ask me, though, I don't really think Larry Bird can be a legitimate argument to be better than Kobe, but I can at least hear it out. But LeBron, hell no.
First of all, I just want to make sure you know Mount Rushmore got 4 faces on it, right?
I do know that.
Let me rattle off the 4 for you, big dog.
Okay, go for it.
We got Bron, of course, Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson. That leaves Kobe looking up at said mountain now, doesn't it?
Why do you have Kobe Bryant beneath those players?
Well, for one, if you're talking about Magic Johnson, you're talking about 9 first-team All-NBAs in 12 years. Then we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had the greatest career of any basketball player ever from the second he can look at one. We got Michael Jordan, Kobe's idol, enough said. And then we got LeBron James, who was drafted when I was learning multiplication tables. He is getting ready to play for your Lakers right now. It's an unbeatable Mount Rushmore. And all due respect to Kobe, he's looking right up at that one.
Let me tell you why you're dead wrong and why Kobe Bryant is arguably above every player you just mentioned, other than Michael Jordan himself. Kobe Bryant exists as the most total package in NBA history outside of arguably Michael Jordan. He is the greatest scorer, arguably the top 3 all-time scorer, undeniably. He is an elite two-way player. And guys, look, ultimately, I'm not here to talk about who you are underneath. Look, as Bruce Wayne told Rachel Dawes, it's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you. Kobe Bryant is one of the most, and I'm sorry, let me check that, is the most accomplished player in the postseason when it matters most, outside of only Michael Jordan. He went to 7 finals, won 5, and when you look at the requisite amount of supporting cast that he had, and we'll get into the Shaq claims later, when you look at the requisite amount of supporting cast that he had, coupled with the opposition that he faced, no one, arguably even outside of Jordan, accomplished as much. Therefore, I'm just here to say what he did. Kobe Bryant, top 3 scorer, all-around great player, and went to 7 finals, won 5 of them.
Okay, so when you said all-around player, y'all notice how he conveniently left out passing, right? Just conveniently forgot that you have to give the ball to the other team, something Kobe Bryant wasn't a fan of, except in 2006 Game 7 against the Suns, where he decided that's all he wanted to do. Mr. Mamba mentality himself decided, you know what? I don't feel like playing offensive basketball today. I'll let the other 4 of y'all do it. Now, if we're talking about the 7 trips to the finals, I don't like how as a basketball.
By the way, that was against my Phoenix Suns. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan. In fact, this here is a Phoenix Suns hoodie. I bought it in Phoenix, you know. I think I got this at the game when we played the Warriors. I'm also a huge Steph Curry fan, so that was a great game for me. And, I mean, yeah, Kobe did do that, but it was not for the reason he's trying to make it out to be.
Basketball community, we give players credit for the times they didn't make the finals. So all of a sudden, it's a bad thing that LeBron went to the finals 10 of his 23 years, as opposed to Kobe Bryant, who went for 7 out of his 20.
Firstly, Kobe Bryant was not a starter in the NBA till he was age 20.
That's a positive?
He ruptured. Hold on.
Is that a positive?
Hold on. Kobe Bryant was, because he was drafted, he was traded from Charlotte to the Lakers. Therefore, he did not get into the starting lineup. He did not get into the starting lineup until his age 20 season, because
That's actually a great point. You know, when I first heard Skap say that, I kind of was agreeing with the guy, you know, here at first. Because, you know, it's not LeBron's fault that Kobe wasn't good enough to be a starter, you know, in the beginning. But Skap here makes a very good point that originally, because Kobe was a lottery pick, he was drafted at number 13, which is a major steal, right? But, you know, he's supposed to play for the Charlotte Hornets. However, he got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Therefore, you know, he had to compete, which was actually an already good team. So he had to compete against other great guards like Nick Van Exel and what's the other guy? Shoot, I can't think of his name. Skap's gonna say it, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, he had to compete against other all-stars, which limit the amount of playing time that he got. See, LeBron, he got drafted to a very trash team from the beginning. So he didn't have to worry about it. If he would have gotten drafted, let's see, LeBron came in the 02-03 season. So let's just say he got drafted on the same team as, say, who was a great small forward during that time. Let's say he got drafted the same team as T-Mac on. He probably would have had the same kind of thing because T-Mac would have started over LeBron. Let's just be real. I know you LeBron clowns that love to nut ride would probably say different, but LeBron, a rookie LeBron that only averaged 20 points per game, is not starting over Tracy McGrady, nor Vince Carter, nor who else was a really good small forward during that time period. They would have had a hard time getting that starting position over. I can't really think of them at that time at the moment, but either way, you get the point.
Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, 2 all-star caliber guards. He then ruptured his Achilles at his end of his 34 season, right? So he didn't get the postseason run that year. He had a season-ending injury the year after. He had another season-ending injury the year after that. Really, when you look at it, Kobe Bryant had 13 times that he could get in to the playoffs as a starter and go at it. He went to 7 finals in the 13 years and won 5 of them. LeBron is entering healthy year 23, and he's only won 4, and he had a better supporting cast than Kobe Bryant, and he faced weaker competition than Kobe Bryant did to win less.
He didn't even have a better version of Shaq than Kobe. You talk about supporting cast.
That's the part that bothers me the most about LeBron fans, bro. This shit here. Like, y'all are so delusional and almost borderline you know the word. I'm gonna say slow, but you know the word I'm thinking. Because, like, bro, how can you even make a good, legitimate argument without being absolutely delusional that LeBron didn't have a better supporting cast than Kobe? Yes, he had a prime Shaq. We get that. But after Shaq, there's no one close that Kobe had that's the same level as Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Russell Westbrook, all of those players. Look, Kobe didn't get only player Kobe had that's comparable to them is Shaq. Nobody else he played with is on the same level as those players. So there's no way you can make an argument that LeBron had less help. It was like, bro, Kobe had been able to win back-to-back championships with Pau Gasol, and this is no attack on Pau Gasol. He was a great player. But let's just be real. If you're talking about the greatest of the great, top 75, arguably probably even top 100 greatest players, Pau Gasol is not in it. All the players I just named for LeBron, they're all top 75 level players. Kyrie supposed to made it. We all know that. They took him off once he got in trouble. That's what was documented. He's supposed to made it in instead of Damian Lillard. They replaced him after he got in trouble with the vaccine and the anti-Semite bullshit. So there you have it.
And on top of that, you're eliminating years from Kobe Bryant's career because of injury, and he wasn't good enough to beat out Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones. These are not positives, my man. These are knocks against Kobe Bryant's career because he wasn't good enough to crack the starting lineup coming out of high school, unlike LeBron James. And then at the end of his career, he ended up getting injured. Again, unlike LeBron James.
Because Kobe is not load managing like LeBron James. Kobe Bryant, when he ruptured his Achilles tendon.
You know what's crazy? I know it's crazy, but I'm pretty sure that the Mikal Bridges looking dude, I don't play ball with him somewhere before. Can't remember where. Random down. Just that.
Played in 46 minutes per night in the last 8 games of the season leading in to the rupture in his age 17 season,
and look where I got him.
dragging a team into the postseason. Kobe Bryant, that Mamba mentality, that competitiveness that LeBron James doesn't have, never had, that forced Kobe Bryant to prematurely end his career because he was just that damn competitive.
Kobe Bryant may be better than certain players, but when I look at Mount Rushmore, I'm going to look more about players that change the game. So I'm going to give you 4. Obviously, you're going to have LeBron James. LeBron James arguably responsible for positionless basketball. Let's also talk Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson created run and gun offense. Let's talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry made the game today a 3-point shooting game. And then I'm going to give the last spot to Shaquille O'Neal. Why I say that? Shaquille O'Neal, arguably to me, the most dominant big man. During his era, teams had to build themselves in order that wanted to compete to beat Shaq. You had to have 3 legit centers just to have enough people to give enough fouls to handle Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe Bryant is more so a clone of Michael Jordan in the sense that he gets a lot of extra hype from Mamba mentality. But really, that mentality was Michael Jordan. He looked up to him throughout his whole childhood. That was his hero. That was the reason why he entered the
I'm sorry, yeah. I be tripping out LeBron fans when it be a LeBron idiot talking. And they be shaking their head, hyping them up, like, yeah, you cook it. And they be saying some asinine, dumb, crazy crap, bro. And they be really like, bro, never mind, because I'm going to get in trouble if I say that. But, like, bro, y'all act like females. I'm going to put it like that. Y'all real deal act like females, bro. It's crazy.
Draft early because he thought there was a rumor Michael Jordan was going to retire. So he wanted to play for him. Kobe Bryant, certainly a great player, but he did not truly change the game of how it was played of basketball.
Now, if you want to look at how people change the game, fine. Again, it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. I'm looking at impact. Kobe Bryant led an NBA decade in scoring, points per game, and in total points scored. There's only 3 human beings in NBA history that have done that. Will Chamberlain in the 1960s, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 1970s, and Kobe Bryant in the 2000s. That's it. Nobody else. Not ever. Not LeBron James. Not Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant. And in that span of time, from 2000 through 2010, an 11-year span from the finals in 2000 to 2010, Kobe Bryant went to 7 NBA finals and won 5 of them while making 9 All-NBA first-team defensive selections during that.
Sorry, got to pause again. I know I'm pausing a lot of these days. This is going to turn out to be a very long video to brace yourself. So if you're a very big fan of basketball, if you're one of the LeBron clowns that love to try to dispute what real guys is talking about, what real niggas are saying that actually knows what they're talking about, hey, brace yourself. But what I wanted to point out there, also keep in mind, Kobe Bryant did this at the time period where the pace was so slow. Like when he averaged 35 points per game in 2006, teams in the NBA were only averaging around 97 points per game. So he was essentially scoring a third of his team's points. That's massive. LeBron James would never. He never did in the past, and he never will until he retires, score that amount of points. Like those that percentage of his team's points in a season. He'll never do that. Like he'll average 25, 27. Y'all will brag about it. As my boy Charleston say, get your honey together. Shout out to Dreamers Pro. You'll get your honey together for it, right? And be happy about him scoring his 27 points per game or whatever. But keep in mind, he's in a league where they're averaging 115, 118, sometimes 120 points per game in the season. So he's not even scoring a fourth of his team's points. And Kobe was getting a third of it. The same could be said for Michael Jordan. Just tells you the levels of scoring between the three.
Span of time. There simply isn't more people. There's no more than one accomplished than Kobe Bryant in NBA history. You're talking about changing the game. Let's talk about impact on the game. You mentioned the Mamba mentality. You poo-poo it. You roll your eyes at it, but it is transcendent. It not only still transcends basketball even after Kobe left. It's gone on to other sports in other leagues. Let me tell you a quick little story here. When the LA Chargers freshly relocated back to LA, Kobe Bryant came in to talk to the team. After he left, he mentioned the book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. They had more than 50 requests from players to get that book. Max Crosby, like stud edge rusher for the Raiders, has Kobe's face tattooed on his chest. Jaden Daniels, stud quarterback for Washington. Kobe is his favorite player. He was born in 2000. He was an infant. Kobe Bryant transcends. Okay, so you're talking about impact. There is nothing more impactful than Kobe Bryant, at least in the last half.
But everything you say, all that motivation that Kobe is giving them, it comes from Michael Jordan itself. You mentioned the finals. Let's talk about 2004. They solely lost that finals because of Kobe Bryant. He's the reason, because he was not willing to handle Shaquille O'Neal. He broke up a dynasty in the making. They could have won another 2, 3 titles. His own selfishness in that aspect. It was Shaq's team. He had to understand that.
I fully acknowledge, even as a huge Kobe fan and defender, that he is not without, his warts or his blemishes. His career certainly had them. However, factoring in those blemishes with his successes still outweighs any other player that ever existed outside of Michael Jordan.
That's fair enough. But again, we're talking Mount Rushmore. To me, Mount Rushmore is about guys that changed the way basketball is played. The 4 I said, are the ones that did that.
Michael
Bryant,
Jordan didn't change the way basketball was played. He just did it better than everybody else.
That's insane.
He just did it better than everybody else.
The 1980s was all about fast-paced offense. In the 1980s, when Michael Jordan, in the 90s basketball slowed down for a reason because Michael Jordan was the best.
Jordan simply revolutionized.
I mean, I'm gonna say this: the kid kind of got a point there. I'm gonna say that he kind of has a point there, where he says, the pace slowed down because of Michael Jordan, because he's absolutely right. During the 80s, obviously with the Showtime Lakers, with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the fast pace that they played at, they were playing very fast pace. But Michael Jordan, once he became the face of the league, basically, the 90s, the pace went way down. So I mean, he kind of got an argument there.
Revolutionized the way that it was played. He did it better than everybody else. And Kobe Bryant, you're fine. You got me. Jordan was Kobe's idol. Kobe did emulate him in some ways. And yet when he gets that close to Jordan, and Jordan is the greatest of all time, then I guess that means that Kobe Bryant's better than everybody else other than that guy, which is Michael Jordan, which is why he's on my Mount Rushmore.
LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron, best all-around player of all time.
I disagree.
I'm sorry, I already got to cut this clown off. I can't stand when I tell you I cannot stand when these LeBron idiots say that. How can you be the best all-around player when you're not the best at nothing? You're not the best shooter. You're not the best three-point shooter. You're not the best mid-range shooter. You're not the best free throw shooter. You're not the best finisher at the basket. You're not the best defender. You're not the best ball handler. You're not the best passer. Now, I'm not saying you have to be the best at that to be the best all around, but this is the thing. You're also flawed at a lot of these things. You can't shoot at all. Yes, LeBron fans, I said it. He can't shoot at all. So this is the thing. How in the world are you the best when you can't shoot at all? You only shoot 37% anywhere beyond 3 feet from the basket. That means you can't shoot. We know he can't make free throws. He's an average at best ball handler. He loses the ball while he's dribbling all the time. He gets his pocket picked sometimes. He's a turnover king. His IQ is overrated. Like y'all keep trying to say he got such a high IQ. He's overrated at IQ because there's no way you can turn the ball over at that high of a rate every single year if your IQ is as high as y'all claim it is. He has no post work really. He's all right. He's okay at best in the post. He's not good in the post. He has no footwork. Like, bro, I can go on and on how many flaws he has. How is he the best overall? It's a dumb-ass statement. You just say that because he's stat packed and puts up numbers. Now, if you want to say he's the number one stat stuffer, maybe you can make an argument for that. But all-around player that's just dumb.
Michael Jordan, most accomplished winner. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar literally has the most successful resume because
best resume. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, best resume.
You get no pushback on Jordan or Kareem.
And then Shaq, literally, is the most dominant player. So
Shaq is not literally the most dominant player.
How is he's more dominant than Kobe?
And that's the thing too that that I actually agree with. Shaq is not the most dominant. I mean, he's dominant. I guess you would have to define what you mean by the dominance, because obviously he was the most unstoppable force that we've seen in the modern day era. The closest thing since the merger. If you want to say that, then unquestionably, yes. Like, he just used to tear the ram down and couldn't no one do nothing about it. But we acting like we didn't see Wilt. Well, we didn't see it, but it's in the history books that Wilt Chamberlain has 100 points in a game. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points per game for a season, and I think like 30 freaking rebounds. So if that ain't the most dominant, I don't know what the hell is.
Wilt Chamberlain's more dominant than Shaquille O'Neal.
That's arguable.
He said,
Well, it's arguable that Shaq is more dominant than Kobe.
I'm just saying there's no way you can put Kobe Bryant
Kobe-
on the
Kobe-
Mount.
listen.
There's no way you can put him on the Mount Rushmore because
Listen.
you're basing it off of just him working hard. Just because you work hard
That's
at
not
something,
true. I'm talking
just
about
because
tangible accomplishments.
just because you work hard at something doesn't mean
Let's talk
you're
about
the
Shaquille
absolute
O'Neal.
best.
How is Shaquille O'Neal above Kobe Bryant?
The three-peat that they went on, he was the bus driver.
Kobe Bryant from 1999 through 2004 scored more total points than Shaquille O'Neal. He averaged about a point less in the postseason in their 4 finals runs together. That is while Kobe was leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring, clutch scoring. He was their lead facilitator, ball handler. He was first team All-NBA defense in those seasons. So if you're saying that Shaq was the leader, what? Because he averaged 1 more point per game. Do you know that Magic Johnson didn't lead the Lakers in scoring in any one of his single 5 finals
Okay,
runs?
but if you want to bring up Magic Johnson, he was a rookie and won the Lakers a championship.
I'm trying to.
So I'm just saying, if you're trying to base that as an argument, that's
In a year where
messing you
Kareem
up. So,
Abdul-Jabbar,
I'm just saying that's kind of
MVP.
messing you up. Like, I don't know why you'd bring up Magic Johnson when
Because
literally
Kobe Bryant's an exponentially better scorer than Magic Johnson. He's an exponentially better defender than Magic Johnson. He won the same number of championships than Magic Johnson with far
okay, but
less help than
Showtime
Magic
Lakers,
Johnson,
Showtime
and
Lakers,
played way
Showtime
harder
Lakers though,
competition than Magic
Showtime
Johnson.
Lakers though.
Hold on, I want to address the Shaquille O'Neal versus Magic Johnson thing real quick. Let me just drop some knowledge on these haters and you right now.
Yeah, okay.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
do
I'll
you
let speak.
know?
I'll
Do
let
you
speak.
know that Kobe Bryant faced and beat more 50-win opponents in the Western Conference in just 2008 through 2010 than Magic Johnson did in his entire career? Oh, and who wasn't on the team in 2008 through 2010? Shaquille O'Neal. So I don't want to hear any more of the Shaquille
Okay, no.
O'Neal qualifiers
Okay, but
coming from the side.
you still have Pau Gasol. You still have Lamar.
And
Odom.
what's Pau Gasol? Like the 80th or 90th best player all time?
You don't think he's a Hall of Famer?
I don't even think he's that. And then the dude, it don't matter if he's a Hall of Famer. LeBron has played with 30 Hall of Famers. And y'all still want to qualify him. Y'all are stupid as hell. I don't know how the world, but how much LeBron paying y'all? I'm sorry, bro. Because this is crazy. You acting like you don't see LeBron play with these loads of talent and y'all just ignore that. But Kobe is not allowed to have anyone. This shit is insane. LeBron's not even the best player of his fucking era.
He's not top 75.
You don't think he's a Hall of Famer?
He is a Hall of Famer.
So then what are we talking about?
But he's not top. He's
You're
certainly
basing-
not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and
no.
Magic Johnson
You're
play
acting,
with
you're
each
acting,
other.
You're acting like Kobe
Kareem-
didn't have a team
Kareem and
in
Magic
09
played
and
with
010.
each other
He literally
and
had
James
he
Worthy,
literally
a
had
top
Pau,
50
he literally
all-time
had
player.
Pau Gasol. He literally had Lamar Odom. He had Trevor Ariza. He had Derek Fisher. All these guys literally helped him win a game.
Lamar Odom
Literally.
made no All-Star appearances in his entire career, no All-NBA
what?
selections.
You know,
Derek
bailed-
Fisher
you know,
made no
bailed-
All-Star
you know,
appearances,
you know,
no
bailed
All-NBA
out-
appearances.
You know, bailed out Kobe in Game 7 of
Tell
the
me about that.
2010
Tell me
NBA
about that.
Finals.
Yeah, tell me about
Ron
it.
Artest.
Ron Artest, you made
Because
one
Kobe-
All-Star
because
appearance like
Kobe's-
7
because-
years earlier.
because Kobe's
I'm
Mamba
talking
mentality-
about
you know what
Magic
Kobe's-
Johnson
you know
with
what
Kareem
Kobe's Mamba
Abdul-Jabbar
mentality-
and
No.
James Worthy.
You know what Kobe's Mamba mentality says? I'm going to shoot 7 for 24, but since that's going to be seen as the best thing ever because I didn't give
What
up,
are you talking about?
it doesn't
2010?
matter. Yeah,
Game 7, 2010?
listen.
Where he still led both teams in scoring, led both teams in fourth quarter
He
scoring,
didn't.
had 16
He
rebounds
underperformed.
because Kobe Bryant is
He
a winner.
underperformed. What I'm saying to you is Kobe Bryant, just because he's a hard worker doesn't mean he's the overall best player. Literally.
Agreed.
Like,
I'm
why
talking
are you
about-
saying?
I'm
Literally,
talking
he
about
took
top 4 in scoring, top 4 in playoff scoring.
he took
7
Michael
trips to the
Jordan's
finals.
blueprint, and he still couldn't be
So
as
he
good
took
as
the
him.
He took the
He
greatest
couldn't even
player
be-
ever's blueprint and got damn close to him. And
You're
therefore
calling-
is better than everybody
You're
else.
calling Kobe the greatest,
I'm
better than
saying he's
Michael
be-
Jordan,
No,
apparently.
I'm saying he's second to Michael Jordan.
You're saying he's second to Michael
Second
Jordan?
to Michael
Okay.
You're saying Kobe is top 4 in points. You know what he also is top 4 in? Misses.
LeBron's
He's number
first.
1.
Why are LeBron fans so dumb, bro? Why are they so dumb? Why are you LeBron fans? I'm serious. Like, I'm dead serious. Why are y'all so dumb? Y'all say the dumbest shit that contradicts what the hell you're trying to push. LeBron is number 1 at misses, you freaking clown. But y'all want to say he's number 1. LeBron is number 1 at misses, and he's number 1 at turnovers. It only matters when Kobe has it, right? Like that when Russell Westbrook was on the same team as him. And all they used to do was say, oh, Westbrook with all these turnovers. Westbrook. when LeBron was averaging just as many turnovers as him. Like it's amazing how you just overlook what this clown does.
LeBron's number. No, he's not.
Well,
Kobe's second. LeBron's one.
per game.
LeBron's your goat.
played
He's number one in
He's
misses.
played more games.
He's number one in turnovers.
He's played more games.
So Kobe played a lot more
And he
games than all the other guys. You're right.
And LeBron has taken more shots per game than Kobe as well. For those people that love to say Kobe's a ball hawk.
Right, and he had to play 2-3 more seasons than Jordan to get less points.
No,
Points
Kobe
per
has
game.
more.
Who has more points
Kobe
per game?
has more
Jordan is at
points than Michael
30.8.
Jordan.
Jordan is at 30.8. Is number one all time.
Yeah.
Tied with
Tell me about it.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Tell me about it. Let me.
Where's
tell you
Kobe
this.
Bryant on the points per game list?
Okay, bro. Can we milk in some context to this real quick? All of NBA history has been played at roughly a 110 point per game pacing.
Yeah.
In the 1960s, it was about 115. In the 70s and 80s, it was like 110. In the 80s, when Jordan came in '84, it was still being played at 110 per game. Up until 95, it was still at 105 points per game. Now it's back up to 115. It was 114 last year. In the 16-year span from when Kobe Bryant was drafted in 96 to when he ruptured his Achilles in 2012, the NBA was played at a 96 point per game pacing. That is the unequivocal dead ball era of NBA basketball. It was played at 15 to 20 points per game, less on average than any other era in NBA history, including 3/4 of Michael Jordan's career.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore takes in accomplishments, how much they won, how much they impacted with the supporting cast, and the opposition they faced.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got Jordan, Kobe, Tim Duncan on my Mount Rushmores.
Tim Duncan is also one of the most underrated players of all time. Also one of my most hated players of all time. Because like I just said, I'm a Suns fan. And if you remember us during that era, that bastard Tim Duncan beat us so many times, and I could not stand it. 2010, when we finally beat him, I was so damn happy until Kobe came and whipped our ass after that. But still, I'm just saying. But yeah, Tim Duncan and Kobe were definitely in probably arguably the toughest era of competition in NBA history.
And Kareem's resume is impeachable. I can't, even though he played weak ass competition and play with a crazy supporting cast, his resume is unimpeachable. It's better than LeBron's. He's been to 10 finals. He won 6. He has 6 league MVPs. He's top 3 in three standard box metrics. That's rebounds, blocks, and points. My next claim is, other than Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant is the most successful playoff performer in NBA history.
You saying Kobe Bryant is the best playoff performer?
It's not close.
So how could you say it's not close when we seen what MJ do? We seen what he did.
I said
Okay.
MJ is the best.
Okay, so how about we take it to LeBron, right?
Sure.
Because let's be honest. LeBron, unique. Everything unique. What he did from Cleveland, 07, took him to the NBA Finals. Okay, we seen what
against 2 teams that didn't win more than half of their games.
But he still did what he did, right? He still
and then got swept.
They killed me with the 07 LeBron shit, bro. That's the most overrated finals run ever, damn near, bro. The only one that's probably more overrated than that is LeBron's other finals run of 2018. I don't know which one is more overrated, because I'll say 07 was, because 07, the Cleveland Cavaliers team was stellar defensively. And they weren't scrubs the way the media tries to lie to us and say that they were. You got it. For one thing, the LeBron fans are mostly consistent of people that are early 20s and, younger. Like, I'm not that old myself, but still I'm knowledgeable enough to know that you can't compare the eras like that when it comes to points per game. For instance, it's so easy to score in today's era that you cannot compare someone scoring 25 points per game now to someone that was scoring 25 points per game during Michael Jordan's era. It's 2 totally different things. Someone scoring 25 points per game in Michael Jordan's era would average like 33 in this era. It's that much easier to score. But they act like they don't understand that. The reason why I said that is because you might say something about Ilgakis, who may have averaged probably 11 points per game during that time. But keep in mind, during that 07 era, the same era that we just talked about that Kobe played in, the pace was way slower, so they scored way less points. So Ilgaki's 11 points per game would probably be more equivalent to like 18, 19 points per game in today's era. That's pretty decent for you to have. And Mo Williams, his 18 or whatever that he averaged would be like 25, 26 today, probably. So LeBron had him. And like I said, they were great defensively, and they were good, a great rebounding team as well. Also, the Eastern Conference, LeBron got carried to the finals. They covered that up, but he got carried. You go back and look at the numbers. LeBron underperformed. A lot of the Cleveland players had to step up.
He still derailed Ben Wallace. He still derailed.
No, Ben Wallace was not on that team in 2007. He was on Chicago that year.
Okay, you got me, but still took out Detroit, right? Still
yes, who won
right?
2 more games than Cleveland and had the same net differential that year. They were identical teams. Then he gets into the finals with the top 3 net rated defensive team. They were in 1 possession games against the Spurs and got swept.
But let's take it to the Heat, right? Let's take it to the Heat.
Oh, let's take it to the Heat.
Yeah, 3-peat, even though he did
not
3-peat. He did 3-peat, but he made 3 appearances, right?
He went to 4 straight and he won 2.
Okay. He did his thing there. Then he went to Cleveland. It was a bunch of scrubs. Even though he had Kyrie, you had Shumpert.
The year before the team up in Cleveland, when he left Miami to go to join an ascending all-star guard in Kyrie Irving. Do you remember what was happening in the NBA at that same time? Do you remember something called Riggin for Wiggins? Because every NBA team was trying to get Andrew Wiggins. Guess who got Andrew Wiggins? Guess who got him? Cleveland. They won the draft lottery. They got Andrew Wiggins, and because he was so coveted, they managed to flip him for Kevin Love. Kevin Love that year, before he went to Cleveland, hold on. Kevin Love was top 3 league-wide. In box plus.
I got to give him a little bit of prop. He do have a Phoenix Suns jersey on them, so he get a little props for that. So I ain't going to go too hard on him. But you did wrong, my boy.
Minus value over replacement and player efficiency rating. He was 2nd or 3rd in all those metrics behind only LeBron James and that league's MVP, that year's league MVP, Kevin Durant. That was Kevin Love. He was 2nd team All NBA, and if there was not positionality that year in All NBA, he would have been 1st team All NBA. That was the 3rd option in Cleveland.
You're gonna be talk.
Hold on, you said those were scrubs in Cleveland?
They all wasn't scrubs. Okay, you're right. You got Kevin Love, you got Kyrie Irving, but who do they need? They needed LBJ. They needed LBJ. Who did Kobe Bryant need? He needed a whole roster plus the bench. Derek Fisher. Who else?
Never an all-star.
Trevor Ariza.
Never an all-star.
Paul Gasol.
One-time all-star. Do you know who Kobe Bryant's 3rd leading scorer was on the Shaq teams in the 2nd and 3rd title? Derek Fisher, who played in.
He was clutch.
He was
clutch.
Never made one all-star team. Never won All-NBA designation his entire career.
Not everybody's a star, bro. Not everybody's a star.
But LeBron had stars at every stop he went after he left.
Every stop.
He did though. He really
did.
He had 2 co-stars, bro.
He did.
He had
Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Then he jumped to Kyrie Irving.
Okay, back to Miami Heat.
Then he went to
back to Miami Heat.
Fuck that. Then he want to talk about the bench. Hey, man, nigga, LeBron had a bench too. What is this man talking about? When he was in Miami, nigga, Ray Allen was on the bench. Rashard Lewis was on the bench. Birdman was on the bench. Norris Cole ain't a great player, but I'll mention him, was on the bench. Mike Miller was on the bench. What is this nigga talking about? LeBron had a bench too. Then you move to Cleveland. Amon Shumpert was on the bench. J.R. Smith, it depends, here and there was on the bench. At one point, he had Kyle Korver on the bench. Who else was on that Cleveland team doing his run with Cleveland? Like, bro, this man had role players. Stop trying to act like Tristan Thompson wasn't on the bench, but he was a nice, solid role player. He wasn't a scorer, but he was great defensively, and he was great at rebounding. Then you move on to the Los Angeles Lakers team that he has now. Same fucking thing. You got great role player. You can't even say Austin Reeves is a role player anymore at this point. He's a star. The way the numbers he's fucking putting up. Then you got DeAndre Ayton now, which is crazy that that's your fourth fucking option. DeAndre Ayton is your fourth option right now, who's actually starting to really pick it up. Motherfucker, he messed my parlay up today. Motherfucker was serving. And then let's see who else they got. They got Marcus Smart. You got Rui Hash. Bro, if you don't shut your wig glass up.
Back to Miami Heat, bro. I'm from Dade County. Chris Bosh was not really that guy in Miami. It was really him and Dwayne.
I'm sorry, y'all. This mind's so damn ugly, bro. Take that jersey out. But why do you have a Phoenix Sun jersey? Take that shit out, you ugly ass nigga. I said I wasn't gonna go that hard on him, but this mind got to be stopped. Chris Bosh was not that. They always try to attack Chris Bosh, and then of course in Cleveland they try to attack Kevin Love. Bro, Chris Bosh was a perennial all-star. Almost all of his years in the fucking Raptors. He was a franchise player. He was top. What was he? He was always top 10 in the top 5 in the East at scoring. He was a lottery pick. And then he was averaging what, 24 and 11 before he went to Miami, which is equivalent to today's time, would probably be 29 and fucking 14, 15, probably. He had to change his game because of LeBron. You idiots act like you don't notice that. Have you noticed every big man that plays with LeBron, if they were good in the post, they can't play in the post anymore because LeBron can only play with everybody spacing out so that he can attack the lane and then kick it out to them. He makes everybody a spot-up shooter. Why? Because he can't play in the system. Why? Because he can't be coached. Why? Because he's a clown. Why? Because he's the most overrated player of all fucking time. Ugly ass nigga.
Wait. Let me hold on. Chris Bosh really wasn't that guy.
No, he wasn't.
But he went to 11 All-Star appearances in 13 seasons. And the year before he teamed up in Miami, he was 20th in VORP, 18th in BPM, 4th in PER, and wait, hold on. In a lower scoring era, in a lower paced era, Chris Bosh averaged 24 and 11 the year before the team up. He really wasn't that guy. Are you kidding?
No, not to a certain degree. No, he was not that guy. Let me finish this off because you was talking the whole time. I hear what you're saying, but Kobe, okay, you're saying besides Michael Jordan, Kobe was the second best playoff performance. I have to scrap that because LBJ
my real point.
Going from team to team to team, taking these players with him. Kobe, he stuck with a team. I give him that. But Kobe, he gave up at certain times. He was a prima donna. He said, "I'll do it by myself." How could you do it by yourself, dude? You got to say about Andrew. You got to say about Paul Gasol. You couldn't do it with Dwight. You couldn't do it with Julius. You couldn't even do it with D'Lo. I mean, come on.
I hear people yelling Steve Nash. He played 40 games.
Debate me about it. You couldn't do it with nobody else. You couldn't do it yourself.
He did do it himself way more than LeBron James ever did.
How?
How? Because he took Pau Gasol, went to 3 straight finals. And won back.
Did we forget the COVID chip? Did we forget the COVID chip? Did we forget 2020?
I certainly didn't. I certainly didn't forget about it. He had Anthony Davis, who was the top 5 player.
That's it.
Kyle Kuzma.
That's it, ugly ass nigga. Really? So Dwight Howard went on that team. Rajon Rondo went on that team. Kuzma played solid. I wouldn't just say he's a big shot caller, but come on, he played solid. Who else was on that damn team? The fact that Rondo shot 40% from 3 should let y'all know that shit didn't count. That disqualified right there. Now, I actually fuck with Rondo, but bro, let's be real. Rondo, we all know, could not shoot under normal circumstances. This is crazy, bro.
Rajon Rondo, Alex Caruso.
How can you talk about playoff success without talking about Bill Russell from the Boston Celtics? He won 9 straight NBA finals.
Before we get into it, let me just, how can we talk about it? Well, because there were anywhere between only 9 to 14 teams in the NBA at the time that Bill Russell was playing.
You can only,
and because, hold on, and one last point, I'll turn it back over to you. And because Bill Russell played with anywhere between 6 to 8 other Hall of Famers throughout all of his title runs. That's why I'm not talking. No disrespect to Bill Russell. He's in my top 10 all time. He's close to like 6 or 7, but he's not Mount Rushmore, and he didn't have better playoff success than Kobe Bryant.
How can you talk about how there are less teams but then you're also going to talk about how he has so many Hall of Famers on his team. Like Tommy Heinsohn would not be a Hall of Famer in today's game.
I mean, well, that's your opinion.
Bill, I mean, look at the guy. Look at the guy.
Is that what we're going based off? Look at
I ain't gonna lie. I think you got a point with that. Wait, he definitely got a point with that one. Shit. Because a lot of them niggas would not be in the Hall of Fame if they played today.
the guy.
No.
Look at Nikola Jokic. Look at that guy.
He's absolutely incredible. I
Yeah,
watched.
but look at him.
It's not the. I'm not talking about the body type. I'm talking about the way he played. Tommy Heinsohn, you look, he's like shooting like a freaking high
So
school
that's
kid.
the competition that Bill Russell was playing against that you
He could
you think
have.
so highly of.
Bill Russell. Success is look the amount. Look, let's say you out debate all these guys. This is the only people you could debate against. No offense, these aren't the best basketball historians of all time sitting in this room.
Ouch, guys.
Kevin's pretty good. Hold up.
Boo this guy.
I like this guy on the right.
Hold up. Bill Russell could only play against who he could play against. And he won 9 finals in a row, 11 all time. If you're getting to about accolades with your Mount Rushmore comments before, how could you not include the guy who has the most NBA championships of all time?
I think talking about accomplishments, it's a nuanced conversation when you're talking about NBA playoffs, right? Like, who did you play? What opponents did you face? What kind of supporting cast did you have? Kobe Bryant played more 50-win opponents than any player in NBA history. He beat more 50-win opponents than anyone in NBA playoff history. Let me just walk you through this. Looking at all the other top tier, like top 10 all-time players that are dynastic, let's look at them, all right? The percentage of 50-win opponents that they played in NBA history. Your guy, Bill Russell, 56%. Larry Bird, 55%. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 43%. Magic Johnson and LeBron James are sitting at 50% of their opponents faced were 50-win opponents, right? Now let's get into the upper echelon, guys. Steph Curry, 63%. Tim Duncan, 65%. Michael Jordan, 67%. 85% of Kobe Bryant's playoff opponents that he faced throughout his entire career won a minimum of 50 games. That is by far the hardest gauntlet of competition that any player has ever faced. There are 5 players that have faced at least 4 50-win teams in one postseason. That would be the 95 Rockets, the 2024 Dallas Mavericks, and then the 2001 Los Angeles Lakers, the 2008 Los Angeles Lakers, the 2010 Los Angeles Lakers. 3 Kobe Bryant teams, and 2 of those 3 had Pau Gasol, not Shaquille O'Neal, and he still won 5 though. He still went to 7 finals and won 5 of them.
I'm getting you're throwing so many numbers out there right now.
I know.
And
It's hard to argue
the
against,
only
isn't
2
it?
numbers that matter are 9 NBA championships in a row and 11 all time. Who is the second most NBA championships of all time? Is it Robert Horry, one of Kobe's old
No,
teammates?
probably one of the other 7
That's
Hall of
probably
Famers
true.
on Boston's
So,
team.
another stat I'll tell you. Guess how many times Wilt Chamberlain beat Bill Russell in the playoffs for the NBA Finals? 0. That guy scored 100 points, one of the most dominant players of all time. The only number
He
that
also played
matters
with a bunch
when
of
you're
Hall
talking
of
about NBA playoff success is the 11 championships that Bill Russell has. I see a Wheaties box with Bill Russell holding his 11 rings in his hand. The rings would barely go above his fingers because there's not nearly as many as Bill Russell has.
Fair. Give
see you later, my
Kobe
friend.
7 Hall of Famers and play 8 teams.
So you're a big Kobe fan, right?
Well, I'm more of a historian and a supporter of greatness.
Why are you a Kobe fan?
His tangible on-court product,
Okay.
coupled with his accomplishments,
Okay.
make him an undeniable top 3
What does
all-time
Kobe
player.
stand for? The word Kobe. You're a Kobe fan, right? What does the word Kobe mean?
Well, he was named.
What the hell does that have to do with anything like that, nigga? Who gives a fuck what his name stands for?
Specifically, he was named by his parents because they were eating in a Kobe steakhouse
Okay.
when his mother Pamela was pregnant with him. So,
tender meat,
that's
right?
what it
Tender
means.
meat, right? Kobe's tender meat, right? So let's talk about, you like numbers, right? What is the average PER?
I mean,
in
they
the-
support
wait,
things, yeah.
Wait, Mr. Scully, what is the average PER in the
Scap,
NBA?
just scalp.
Scap, Mr. Scap, like Scap. Okay, what is the average PER?
That's scalp. I said scalp.
You get it. What is the average PER?
What do you mean by average?
Like, what's the average PER for
Let's
players
talk
in the NBA?
about. Well, we could
The
talk.
average PER
We could talk about all time.
Okay, player efficiency rating.
Yeah.
It's 15 in the league. That's the average.
Yeah.
Kobe's
Now-
Kobe's at 22.7.
Okay.
Kobe is a great player.
Yeah.
But he's not elite.
Okay.
LeBron and MJ, their PER is 27.
Okay.
For both.
Okay.
So Kobe is a construction worker.
Okay.
Kobe's a mechanic.
I feel.
Kobe is
Can
a
I, hold on, bro.
Kobe's an average human being. He's not he doesn't have any generational talent. He just worked really, really hard. LeBron has generational talent. Michael, generation.
What is that saying though? Hard work beats talent if talent won't work. LeBron is a perfect example of talent that won't work as hard. I'm not saying LeBron doesn't work hard at all, because I'm sure that he does. But let's be real. When LeBron first came into the league, he was a poor shooter. He wasn't the greatest ball handler. He turned the ball over. He couldn't make free throws. He froze in close moments, like close games. You know what I'm saying? Clutch time. Fast forward 23 years later, guess what? He can't shoot. He's still scared in closing moments. He can't make free throws. He still an average at best free throw shooter. He's still turning the ball over at a high rate. He hasn't improved shit. That tells me he's not working that hard. Because of the greatest of the greats, they came in, they may have lacked at this, but then they worked at it and got better. And then you notably see, okay, he worked on that this summer. You can't say that for LeBron, because he comes back the same way.
Of talent. And on top of that, they have hard work behind that put them in the league of their own. So there's LeBron, MJ, everybody come last.
All right, let's
It's
talk.
Kobe,
Let's talk
Michael, Bryant.
context, because you want to talk player efficiency rating, PER.
Correct.
When you look at the top 30 PERs in league history, there are 3 players that existed within 1996 to 2012. Now, I know you know about 96 to 2012 because I previously had to set that context in a conversation earlier. The dead ball era in NBA history. There are 3 players in the top 30 in all-time PER, Shaq, Tim Duncan, and Yao Ming. Because they're bigs that play close to the basket. Kobe Bryant is higher rated in PER than any other player that lived in that era, other than those 3 players. Higher even than other great bigs like Kevin Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki, because they played further out from the basket. It was a remarkably inefficient time that Kobe Bryant existed in. Kobe Bryant's true shooting percentage, 55% for his career. The true shooting percentage league-wide on average for Kobe Bryant during his career was around 51%. So he was an above-average player, actually. The true shooting percentage last year was 58%. There are 12 players that play now that are in the top 30 in PER because of how much easier and more efficient the time is now. Nikola Jokic is destroying LeBron James in advanced metrics. He's a higher PER player, BPM player, higher win share percentage. He's higher, and he's higher than even Michael Jordan. Because this era, is Nikola Jokic the GOAT?
No, he's not the wait.
Because it's easier now than it ever has.
Now, this is one thing that I disagree hardly. I disagree wholeheartedly with Skap about when he puts Nikola Jokic to a certain plateau that he doesn't belong on, in my opinion. I'm not saying that Nikola Jokic isn't good. He is. He's great. But he's also benefiting of playing in an era where they're not allowed to get as physical as you. And you have freedom of movement and all those things. And he also, I'm not going to say he's stat packed, but he plays that style of play that accumulate a lot of stats. And it makes you think, oh, he's so great. He's this, he's better than that. When, in my opinion, bro, it should all be built around, are you winning? Are you winning championships? Are you putting your team in the best position to win? Now, some may argue that what he does is putting them in the best position to win, but history doesn't support that. Because if you pay attention, every player that plays to that style, and when I mean that style, a player that gets all the rebounds, gets all the assists, and does the most scoring as well, they look great in the season. But when it's playoff time, they underperform. They may put up some good numbers here and there, but for the most part, the scouting report is going to come out. And the best of teams are going to figure out a way to shut you down. And you're the one that's doing all of the damage because the team is built around you doing everything. You're going to lose. Michael Jordan had to figure that out early in his career. That's why when he got the new coach, when Phil first came, Mike said himself, he wasn't a fan of Phil because he took the ball out of his hand. But Phil was putting him in a position where you have to trust your teammates more. Let them handle some of those. See, people like Nikola Jokic hasn't done it yet. And LeBron still to this day hasn't done it. James Harden hasn't done it. Russell Westbrook hasn't done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the style that they play will put up numbers, but it's not going to equal winning.
So we're talking about Kobe Bryant, the guy that's inefficient, right? The guy is turnover ratio compared to his assists is bad. Kobe get like 5 assists and 5 turnovers a game, and Kobe is not a good leader. Kobe talk bad to players. He told Smush Parker that you don't have enough accomplishment to talk to me. Who talked to their players like
he
that?
He actually made Smush
wait, I let you talk. Who talked to their players like that?
I'm helping you.
You're not helping.
I'm helping you.
No,
He made Smush change in a broom closet.
Kobe was talking bad to his players. You can't do that. LeBron will never do that. I want to speak for Michael because Michael actually punched Steve Kerr in the face.
But Michael has results. Kobe has results. LeBron, unless he has a super team, don't get any results. So maybe he should start talking to his teams like mates like that. And plus, LeBron just get them traded. Kobe and Mike stuck with what they had.
We're not going to get into that. See, LeBron James is Kobe's daddy. LeBron James is Michael Jordan's daddy. LeBron James is the league. Everybody in the league, LeBron is the daddy, Mr. Scully.
There are so
hold on. I got a question. I wish Skap would say this. I don't know if he is or not. But does that make Steph Curry LeBron's daddy? Because he whooped his ass several times. No, I'm curious.
many things incorrect in that last statement, including
the LeBron fans with their retardedness. Oh shit, I didn't mean to say that. But then there they go with the ignorance. Like, bruh, he didn't say nothing great. Stop with this stupid crap. You guys are clowns.
My name isn't even the most incorrect thing that he said. My next claim is that no player in the league today will eclipse Kobe Bryant's 81-point performance.
Okay, so you've been talking about how much easier it is to score in today's
Way
game
easier.
with the advanced metrics and talking about the faster pace and the more possessions, all this stuff.
Yep.
All these numbers you're throwing out here.
Right.
So how are you then going to go and say that nobody, Luka Doncic, who scored, I think, what,
73
in
2024.
73, Donovan Mitchell scored in this.
Real quick, I will say that this one here, I think he might be wrong on, because it's like you said, it's quite literally easier to score, and a couple of players already has gotten relatively close. Like you got Embiid scored 70, Devin Booker scored 70, Luka scored 73, Donovan Mitchell scored like 70 or 71, something like that. So I get it. 11 more points is kind of a big deal, but to say that they can't do it in this era, I mean, Steph Curry gets hot enough, it could very much happen. I'm gonna say this: I think the way for Steph Curry or someone like that to get it done, because typically when Steph Curry has it going, it winds up in a blowout, especially during his peak years, where Golden State was just running away with everything. So he didn't play in a lot of those fourth quarters and stuff for us to really know how far he could have gotten. But if it's like a close game, and let's say Steph Curry is red hot and he's really hitting, I think it's possible he could do it. Luka possibly too, with the way he scores and draws fouls. But I mean, it probably at the same time, Skap, the 81 points is 81 points.
70s, Devin Booker has scored in the
71.
Okay. Thank you for giving me the numbers. But the fact of the matter is, if these guys are putting up these kind of numbers, and it's only by, the way you're talking, only going to continue to get easier to score with the trend, the way the offense is trending, the way the NBA is.
Continue. It can't get much easier than it is.
You don't know that, though. We can't predict the future. So the NBA, as it potentially continues to get easier like that, why do you feel that nobody can score 81 points if it's already been close to being done, and you've already talked about how easy the offense is nowadays?
It's not that close. The only player ever,
73 is not close to 81.
The only player, I'm just trying to answer your question. The only player that scored more than Kobe's 81 ever. There's just one instance ever.
Yeah.
It was 1962 in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Will Chamberlain scored 100.
Yes.
Or did he? Where's the footage on that? And then
Flight reacts. The camera wasn't on.
So Kobe 81. Next would be Chamberlain did it at 78 points.
Yep.
That was in 1961. So
79.
62, 61. And then David Thompson also did 73 and 78. So that was it for.
Sorry, I'm almost like a stat nerd myself. It bothers me. I have to look that up. Yeah, 79 points. So yeah, Skap, you're off a point, but it's okay. So y'all can see it. 79 points. It wasn't 78.
Other than Kobe's 81, like that was it for like decades.
Okay.
Now, so
like you said, dead ball era though, so it factors in.
But see, Kobe Bryant, as I kind of teased earlier, is arguably the greatest scorer of all time. If you adjust for pacing, the year that he scored 81 is the greatest scoring season in NBA history. If you adjust it for pace,
well, you can adjust everything. Right. If you adjust anything in the world, then you can fit your argument.
All right, fair. So his 35.8 is still, he's one of only.
I'm not telling you he's not a great scorer.
He's still only one of 4 guys that ever did it. And again, he did it in a time when it was 96 points per game. He scored the 6th most points ever in an NBA season. Again, he did it in 96 point per game. The other seasons that Chamberlain did it, it was 118, 117 points per game. So 20 points per game faster. Even Jordan's great 80s, those were like 109, 110 points per game. So my point is, Kobe Bryant, undeniably a top 3 all-time player in scoring. He has the most
in scoring or
top 3 all-time scorer.
Okay.
Second all-time in 60-point games. Top 3 in 50 and 40 points. Do you know that he has more 50-point games than Durant and LeBron combined still?
I also know LeBron has more playoff buzzer beaters than Kobe, but that's for a different discussion.
So what I'm saying is Kobe Bryant is a top 3,
though.
arguably the best scorer of all time.
Okay.
So that you need that. You need to have an elite all-time top 3 scorer and able to do it. Then he had the necessity to do it. That team was garbage. Hold on, that team was garbage. In the 81-point game, Smush Parker was the second leading scorer, 13 points. Chris Mim, the only other player in double digits, 12 points. No other guy was out of the double digits. They only 5 bench points in that game. They were down 14 at halftime.
This is a lot of extra information. Can
I
respond?
Hold on, and I'll turn it. Excellence meets necessity.
You have incredible knowledge with your ability to rattle off these numbers, rattle off these stats. I give you the utmost credit in the world. I'll shake your hand. I'm going to look into the camera right now. He has contradicted himself multiple times. This most recent time saying again, the NBA's offense is the easiest it's ever been, yet nobody's going to be able to score 81 points. I find that laughable. Listen, this could age very poorly, come back to bite me in the butt. Right now, I will say somebody will score 82 points this season. Coming into this year, it'll be because the offense is the easiest it's been. There's no defense. Everybody could score, pace, fast, all this stuff. I'm wearing a Yankee hat. I'm wearing baseball stuff. I don't care. Somebody will score 82 points this year. Take your pick of who it is. Jokic, look at him, big fat boy, whatever. Jokic will do it. Luka will do it. He's skinny now. Who knows what he's going to be able to do? I'm telling you right now, it's happening.
Luka had 73, but now he's playing with LeBron James as a top 8.
Well, LeBron's out for 3 to 4 weeks with sciatica, so he could do it in the first 3 to 4 weeks. You never know.
But they're playing a more defensive style.
It's more defensive style, but it was offensive
the
before.
The Lakers
specifically.
The Lakers under JJ Redick are trying to play more of a defensive method.
There's plenty of other players in the NBA, but listen, we'll see.
Are there plenty of other top 3 all-time players in NBA history at scoring the basketball in the NBA right now? I don't think there are. They're still playing.
They're not retired and rest in peace. They're still playing right now. So let's see what happens.
I'll bet you any amount it's not 82 this year.
Somebody will score 82, 83. Every generation gets more skillful. Every generation gets more athletic. And I don't believe the defense is that bad. I just believe like one of these players will beat that. Not only that, players like Luka, players like Jokic will do it, making their teammates better. Something Kobe Bryant never did at any level. Never made anybody better. Never elevated his teammates. He did say to Smush, as he said, that you don't have the accolades to talk to me. What kind of leadership is that? Listen, you don't have the accolades to talk to me, but I'm gonna let you talk now.
Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol in 7 years prior to going to LA and teaming up with Kobe Bryant made no All-Stars, no All-NBAs, won no playoff games. He gets to LA and he's All-NBA, third team, an All-Star. He's winning playoff games. How is Kobe not elevating Pau Gasol? Like Pau Gasol goes from not an All-Star at all to a Hall of Famer because he played with Kobe Bryant for 6 years. That's first. That's first to attack your assertion that Kobe Bryant didn't make players better. Secondly, in 2006, when Kobe Bryant scored the 81, when he, had half of the 50-point games in the entire NBA that season, when he averaged 40 for an entire month, Kobe Bryant that year, when he was on the court, his on-off per 100 versus off the 100 possessions per 100 when he was off the floor. They had the number 1 ranked offense in the NBA that year per 100 possessions with Kobe Bryant on the court, better than the Dallas Mavericks, who won like 67 games that year. With Kobe Bryant off of the floor per 100 possessions in that 2006
you got a lot of
season.
stats, man.
I do, bro.
When
he was off the court.
What does this have to do with somebody scoring 83?
You're saying that he
What's
doesn't
your
make
claim, bro?
Your claim was that he doesn't make people better.
He doesn't. Kobe Bryant does not.
Refuting
your
stats
point don't matter. Watch the game. He'll have 3 people on him, and he won't kick it to the wing for a 3.
He won 5 NBA
teammates.
championships.
3 of them were with Shaq. When Dirk
how many did Shaq win without Kobe?
Dirk and D-Wade did was way more impressive.
How was Shaq without Kobe Bryant?
One thing. Let me say one thing.
How was Shaq without Kobe Bryant?
D-Wade did it with a wash Shaq.
Let's talk about
Kobe did it with a prime Shaq. There's a difference.
Let's talk about it. And Shaquille.
Shaq wasn't washed then, first off. Was he the height of his career like he was when he played with Kobe? No. But washed, come on, bro. Like Kobe and Shaq's last ring was what, 02. So you're telling me 4 years later he was washed? No, bro, he wasn't washed. Shaq was still a 20 points per game scorer during that time. So no, he wasn't washed. He just wasn't quite as good as he was then. And that's because Shaq didn't really take care of himself like he should have. And his diet wasn't the way it should have been. He didn't work out the way he should have been. So, yeah. But of course, anytime they're trying to discredit Kobe, discredit Michael Jordan, they have to say somebody, you know what I'm saying, was so great when he played with them, but afterwards, washed.
There's a difference.
And we're going to get into Shaquille O'Neal later. I'll save it for later.
You seem to be lost for words for your first time ever.
All right, I'll give it to you now. I'll give it to you now. We can talk about it later. Shaquille O'Neal with Kobe Bryant, when Kobe Bryant became a starter at the age of 20, Shaquille O'Neal was 67-33 in the playoffs and won 3 championships. In the 13 years Shaquille O'Neal played without Kobe Bryant, he was 62-54 and won 1 title. Who made who?
Somebody will score 83 and they will make their teammates better while doing it. Something Kobe Bryant never did.
And who will? Who will? Luka? How many championships Luka have?
Number 30 over at Golden State is still playing, and he's still looking good. That jump shot is still wet. Okay, number one.
Did you just say Steph Curry?
Yeah, I did say Steph Curry. Number 1, Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards.
That I would disagree with you on, Skap. I think Steph he's one of the biggest one that has a shot at it. Like I said, it has to be a game where it's tight, and he's playing. But I will say this is what it would make it tough. Steve Kerr doesn't play Steph Curry a lot of minutes. So that could make it not happen. That part. Because I think Steph Curry on the average be only playing like 33, maybe 34 minutes per game. Now, if he stressed it out the way LeBron, James Harden, let me see who else plays a whole lot of minutes. Players like that be playing like 40-some minutes sometimes, at least 38, 37, 38 minutes, because Steph Curry is very conditioned, right? He has great endurance. He He runs all over the court and stuff like that. He has great stamina. So he can play 38 minutes. But I get it, he probably wants to make him last longer. So I'm just saying that's the only thing that maybe could stop him from doing it. Steve Kerr doesn't play him enough minutes. But when Steph is red hot, you can't tell me he don't have a shot at it. Like he can, like if he have one of those games where he makes like, let's say 15 threes. Let's say he breaks Klay Thompson's record and hits 15 threes, right? And then after his 15 threes, that's already, how much is that? That's already 45 points. And then after that, let's say he makes a good amount of 2-pointers, because Steph Curry is pretty good at finishing at the basket. He can shoot the mid-range. You know what I'm saying? He has a nice floater shot. Let's just say all of that together, it accumulates another 20 points, right? 20 points from that. Now you're at 65. And then you get, let's say it's one of those nights where they're fouling the hell out of him. If Steph Curry could have enough time where he actually finally goes to the line for 20 free throws like people like Kobe and shit do, it just could happen. Just saying. Maybe. Honestly, I think in the 2-pointer range, he probably can get a little bit more. Because like I said, he gets to the basket pretty good. But anyways, like I said, 45 from the 3-point line. Let's just move it up to maybe 25-ish from 2-point range. You know what I'm saying? That'll get him to 70. And then the rest in free throws. Let's say he goes to the line, let's say he shoots 15 free throws. We know Steph Curry is money at the line, but for the sake of argument, let's say he missed one of them out of the 15. That's still 84 points. Or let's say he missed 2, 83 points.
Jalen Brunson, help.
What are their career highs right now?
Has a good game. It gets hot.
You know what? I ain't gonna just shoot Jalen Brunson down like that. Maybe.
Their career highs right now.
New York.
What are their career highs right now? What's Jalen Brunson's career high right now?
It's got to be in the 40s, 45.
40 to 82 is a big jump.
60. You're not helping your argument with that, my boy. That is crazy. You gonna say 40s? Like at least Steph Curry is 62. 19 points less, but yeah. Might say gotta be the 40s. He said that with confidence too. Like, bro, that's nearly doubled the points. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
61 to 82 is a big jump. 61 to 82, that's a pretty big jump, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a pretty big jump. And somebody who's more unselfish and spreads the ball because
he has a better
win. Let's to win.
Let me restate the claim for you guys.
If Embiid could stay healthy, he probably could do it too. Like, for real. Embiid legit, if that fool could stay healthy, he had a shot at it too, because he's money at the line. He can shoot it. You know what I'm saying? He can go to the basket. He draws fouls really well. He's a scoring machine. If he wasn't so goddamn fragile, maybe he would have a shot at it.
Let me restate the claim for you guys just so you understand. Kobe Bryant,
8 assists.
Kobe Bryant is one of the 3 greatest scorers that has ever existed, and he was on one of the
Carmelo
worst.
Anthony.
Hold on. And he was on one of the worst teams that was ever put together. So it was when excellence met necessity that he had to do that. His team was down 14 points at halftime in that game against Toronto.
Hell,
he
Devin
had
Booker,
to do it.
Devin Booker has a 70-plus point game.
71.
Anybody can do in today's game. They talk
Devin
about
is another one.
But it's worse than ever. But there's not.
And actually, Devin did it in a time period that's a little different from the ones who just recently did. Like, the defense wasn't quite as bad as it is now. Like, think about it. I think Devin did his in 17 maybe? 2017? When was it? 17, 18. It was something like that. I mean, obviously it was already on the going down, but it's still not last year. Like when was it last year, 2024 or 2023? It was 2023 actually, when Embiid and Donovan Mitchell and all of them, Luka, them hit their marks, which is when defense is non-existent. So I mean, you got to give Devin a little bit more props for his 70-point game.
It's worse than ever, but there's not one of the 3 greatest scorers that ever existed in NBA history.
It doesn't have to be.
With the necessity
in today's
to
game, it
to
doesn't have to
that.
be. Steph Curry can still do it.
Steph Curry
Luka
will never
Doncic-
score 80
Luka
points.
Doncic can do it.
Kevin Durant and Steph Curry combined do not have as many 50-point games in their career as Kobe Bryant. Combined.
If Malachi Flynn and Sadiq Bey can score over 50 points, I don't think in today's game you need to be a top 3 scorer of all time to surpass 81 points. I think Luka Doncic could do it. They're probably
He didn't do it when he didn't have LeBron.
Who?
Now, Luka didn't do it when he didn't have LeBron. Now he has LeBron, a ball usage hog as well.
All right, I'll be done in 3 seconds. We know LeBron's gonna be gone pretty soon. Kobe didn't do it.
But who else are they gonna get?
Kobe didn't do it when he had Shaq. Like so maybe if Luka's ever a one-man team like Kobe was
Correct.
that year, maybe he'll be able to do it.
But will he ever be? Because the Lakers are going to continue to refortify those players around Luka.
That's a hypothetical that we can't talk about. All we can say right now is guys like Malachi Flynn and Sadiq Bey were not scoring over 50 points the year Kobe Bryant scored 81 points. So we're in a current NBA where guys are going off
Way
some
easier.
nights.
Yep.
It's way easier to score
today. Yep.
So you don't need to be a top 3 scorer of all time to surpass 81 points. If Devin Booker could do it when he wasn't even at his best,
Devin Booker was absolutely shot chucking, going for it all out, and he still fell pretty shy. 82 to 71 is still pretty far away.
No, you're right. That is, but it's not that
That's
many.
a lot.
But it's not that many to say that it's not possible to surpass 81. I think someone who's currently in the NBA right now will eventually score 81, and that player will probably not be a better all-time player than Kobe Bryant.
He might not even have it made.
My next claim is that Shaq didn't carry Kobe. He needed Kobe. Oh, there's a fight.
I actually 100% agree with that because I actually looked at it myself and really just sat down. I had a pretty good debate with one of my friends about this too, that he needed Kobe. If you pay attention, when he was, I think with the way Shaq is better. As great as he is, it's kind of crazy that I'm about to say this. But as great as Shaq was, it kind of seemed as if he needed someone on his team to be better than him to win a title. Because let's be real, he played with some great talent before. He played with Penny Hardaway first. Great generational talent. If he didn't get injured, he probably would have been, and for sure, one of the all-time greats, for sure. And then after that, he played with Kobe, obviously. He played with Dwayne Wade. He played with LeBron for a little while, right? So, and I would say Penny Hardaway never got to the point that he was better than Shaq. They didn't win. When Kobe was in his beginning years, he wasn't better than Kobe. Than Shaq. They didn't win. But I think at one point, once they started winning titles, Kobe was better than Shaq. But Shaq was more dominant and it was easier for him to get what he was getting. Kobe had to work harder to get his points, obviously. So the easier method is to just dump it down to the big guy and let him dominate, right? So he was able to win with Kobe. And obviously when he went with Dwayne Wade was better than Shaq at that point. See, he won with the two ones that were better than him. And then I would say the ones, when he was with Hardaway, who he was better than, he couldn't get it done. Y'all might think I'm a little crazy for that, but I think he may have did need Kobe to win.
Is a fight for the chair.
Would you say that the best player on pretty much every championship team in the history time needed a second good player, right? So you could say they needed Jordan Farmar in the 2010. Like
I fundamentally reject.
Someone, right?
I fundamentally reject the premise that.
Well, let's just go the year 2000, right? How many champions? They won 3 championships together.
3 championships.
So you probably know the number down to the decimal. What did Kobe average in that 2000 finals? I think it was 15.6, and he shot 36% from the field.
Do you want some context on that or what?
The guy had context, dude.
Hold on. He rolled his ankle in the first quarter of one of those games and averaged 0. He had 0 points for that game that went into his statistical average. Okay. And then he was
still. And what did Shaq average? Tell me what Shaq averaged. Tell me what Shaq averaged.
Compromised. Hold on. Let's talk about Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, where they went to the NBA Finals. That they were down 13 in Game 7 at home. They wouldn't have even been in the finals if not for Game 7. Can you tell me what happened in Game 7 against the Portland Trailblazers?
Kobe went crazy.
Western Conference Finals.
Kobe went crazy.
Kobe Bryant, can you tell me what happened?
No, I can't. Are you going to give me the stats? Kobe had 18 points on 7 of 8 shooting.
No,
and 2
I
for
can
3.
tell you that Kobe Bryant led the Lakers in points, assists, rebounds, and blocks in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
And then you're going to go and belittle
them to get them to the finals. Because yes, bro, you got me. Shaq was better than Rick Smits and was destroying Rick Smits in the finals.
Thank you.
You got me. But they wouldn't have been in the finals.
Okay,
any
so
of
now,
the 3 years
so now,
without Kobe being the best. They would not have been in the NBA finals.
Basically, what Skap is saying here is that most of the competition was in the West, people. So Kobe got them through the West. The East was much weaker. Even the more physical, better defending, and better skilled big men were in the West. So Shaq wasn't able to dominate as much in the West as he was in the East. So when the East got there, when he made it to the East, Shaq just tore them apart. And that's the reason why he kept getting the finals MVPs over Kobe. But Kobe was the one who got them through the Wild Wild West.
Pretty much every championship team. So you just listed one game. Pretty much every team. Again, you could say they wouldn't be there if it wasn't. But now you're talking about points, rebounds, and blocks, and then you're going to discredit. So okay. Over the runs, who had more points, rebounds, and blocks over the 3 runs? Over the 3 years. Answer the question.
Shaq.
So then how are you using that?
Shaq averaged about a 1.5 more in their 4 finals runs.
So now it matters the specifics of it? Okay,
Hold
so
on,
he averaged more. More is more.
But who was the closer? Who was the ball handler? Who was the
undefeated in hypothetical scenarios? And who had the better Mamba mentality? Who woke up earlier that day? That's what we talk about when we're talking about Kobe.
Who was the best player in the Showtime Lakers era?
Magic, or they had 2 of the best players of all time. So
right. So this is my premise.
The claim is who was better in the 80s.
No, this is my claim.
Can we stick to basics?
Yes.
Who had a higher VOR?
Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal were co-best players.
Okay, Shaq in a literal sense was better.
But he wasn't. That's what we're talking about.
But he was. So the first finals, you're talking
about the first finals. Let's talk all 3. Let's talk about 2001.
Well, I believe 2000 was one of them.
2001 and 2002. Okay, let's talk about.
So then they were they were great running mates. That's why you ever heard this expression like Shaq and Kobe? Well, first of all, which one comes first? But that's an expression. They were 2 great players.
Why does his Cavalier jersey look so damn dirty? Is that just me? I mean, it literally looked like he was playing in the sand with his kid before he came here. But of course, that's what you expect for a dusty, crusty LeBron fan.
I already spoke about it. No one's denying the greatness of Kobe. He was a great running mate. He was probably the best second option other than Scottie Pippen in their runs.
No, he was a co-best player. He was far better than Scottie Pippen.
So now you're saying he's a co-best. What's the claim?
Shaq did not carry Kobe. Shaq needed Kobe.
Okay, so we needed him. But so they were who was better? Who was better?
I'd say Kobe Bryant was more valuable.
Then why isn't that your claim? Because clearly you don't believe that. You have some very strong beliefs. If you thought Kobe was better, you would say Kobe was better. But Shaq needed Kobe.
Well, I would say they're co-best players on that run. Like Durant and Curry were in the Golden State runs. That's the dynamic that Shaq and Kobe had in mind.
Yeah, and I agree with that. See, this is classic LeBron James fans tactics. And remember what I said earlier in this video, how whenever it's someone that's a threat to LeBron, they have to do something to diminish that player. Try to talk about the talent that they had, even though ignoring all the talent that LeBron has had. Like they try to tear down Kobe to say like that ridiculous list that had Kobe number 11 on all-time great, which is atrocious. It's just absolutely absurd. But Nonetheless, it had Kobe number 11. They said the reason was because he had Shaq on his team. First off, Shaq isn't ranked higher than Kobe. That is crazy. Shaq himself don't even think he's ranked higher than Kobe. So if you're gonna down one for it, it should be Shaq, not Kobe. Then on top of that, you don't keep that same energy when it comes to Magic and Kareem, because Magic and Kareem was essentially the same thing, but you don't do that with that. And then they tried, like Skap just mentioned, Steph and Kevin Durant. They tried to do that to Steph. See, they wasn't worried about Kevin Durant as much because Kevin Durant, although he did beat, LeBron twice and get 2 MVPs from it, Finals MVPs from it. They can simply say, oh, he had to gang up with Steph Curry in order to do it. So they can diminish Kevin Durant to a degree for that. Steph Curry stayed on his same team, beat LeBron 3 times. And see, they were trying their best to do it for him. Say, oh, Steph Curry got lucky the first time. He only won because of Kevin Durant. Right? But then and they tried to say he needed Kevin Durant to win the title. So just like Kobe had to do, Steph Curry won the title without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant hasn't won without Steph Curry yet. So that basically threw that narrative out of the window. They can't say that anymore. Now, Kobe pretty much did the same thing. He won without Shaq. Now, Shaq did go win one without Kobe, so it kind of changes it a little bit. But the point is, Kobe won without him too. But see, they don't keep that same energy. The reason why is because they need to be able to push this to keep Kobe from climbing up. Because Kobe was always ahead of LeBron first. Then all of a sudden, magically, the power that runs the league, that wants to promote LeBron better than Kobe. I mean, well, actually wants to promote LeBron better than Jordan. They have to make you think Kobe is nowhere near him. Because if you actually have a brain and actually remember basketball, you'll remember that Kobe was better than him. So he can't be better than Jordan because Kobe's not better than Jordan.
My estimation. You and other people try to paint Kobe Bryant in revisionism that he was like a Pippen to Shaq's Jordan. Not the case. It wasn't Batman Robin. It was Batman and Superman. Kobe and Shaq were Batman and Superman.
Let's not get into revisionist history with Kobe because the narrative has very much changed since he unfortunately passed away. But that day in January of 2020,
he's made lesser. Now, he's made lesser today.
That's factually incorrect because he used to come up in like the 9 to 12 range when you're talking about the greatest of all time, where he literally is. Ever since that very unfortunate day, people talk about him in a different light.
Everybody was talking about Kobe as a top 3 player when he.
That is an absolute lie. This is coming from a person who hated Kobe growing up. Like I told you, as a Suns fan, I couldn't stand Kobe. But I'm not going to sit here and just let LeBron fans lie like this. Kobe was always up there. He was always up there. Y'all need to stop with this fucking lie. He actually wanted. The craziest part is that same company that I was talking about that ranked Kobe number 11 years before they ranked Kobe, like a decade before, I want to say, they ranked Kobe the player of the damn century. The player of the decade. How can he be the player of the decade, which is the same decade that LeBron James played in, but he's not a top 10 all-time player? It doesn't even make sense. They're lying. And I told you, the reason they're lying is because they have to create a separation between LeBron and Kobe in order to be able to push that LeBron is anywhere remotely close to Michael Jordan, who is the actual greatest player of all time.
He was playing in the NBA. Peers
of
and guys
all time?
Yes. Kevin Durant has Kobe Bryant as the second greatest player.
Okay. Can we not do stats? Can we not do semantics?
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of pausing a lot of glad niggas, but this is the thing. If you ask all of the real NBA players that's not compromised, This is the thing. They all have Kobe ahead of LeBron. Steph Curry has Kobe ahead of LeBron. Kevin Durant has Kobe ahead of LeBron. Melo has Kobe higher than LeBron. These are his peers, and they know it. But see, these old heads that you be hearing, they be coming out saying bullshit. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what I think it is. What I think it is that unfortunately, because during the older time, they didn't get paid nearly as much money as they are getting paid now. And unfortunately, in general, period, a lot of athletes go broke after, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they said 4 to 5 years. A lot of them go broke. Now, of course, the upper echelon of athletes that makes the top dollars, they probably don't go broke as quickly as, some of the others. But still, I believe the older players, like I said, since they didn't get as much money, they need the money. So LeBron's camp, aka Unclutched Sports, are paying these people to come out and say bullshit, and it'll make the younger generation believe that it has to be true. Because why is this generation where where Michael Jordan actually played in, saying that he's better than Michael Jordan, which is a lie. And then the craziest part is you can always go and find timestamps where they were saying Michael Jordan was the best. Then all of a sudden they just changed their story. Clear as day, they've been paid.
Well, but what are you talking about? Your feeling?
No, not
your
my feeling.
eye test?
No, not my feeling.
How do we gauge that?
We got smart. Let's work together, right? You say Shaq needed Kobe, right?
100%.
Everybody need a great teammate. Great.
Shaquille O'Neal
Let me get my point. Let me get my point.
Than
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
NBA
Whatever you want. Look, let me talk to the camera because he's not listening to me. So what I'm saying, who won 3 Finals MVP?
Okay,
Shaq.
but who was the best player in the Western Conference Finals?
If you go look at those final stats, you will see Shaq's stat. If you go look at the final stat, you will see Shaq 35, 16, and 3 blocks. You will see 38, 16, and 5 blocks. You will see 37, 15, and 3 blocks. What I'm just saying, yes, but I have to do semantics too. Yeah, you're right. But I have to do semantics. It's a mind game. Play with me. Okay, pause. So what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying, right? Yeah, Shaq needed Kobe, but Shaq was the most valuable player on that team without a question.
In the against the Eastern Conference teams.
It doesn't even matter.
It does matter.
So what about
the Western Conference was undeniably substantially better than the Eastern Conference during that span of time. So the stuff that came out of the East, yes, they had weak teams, weak players underneath. Shaq controlled those series, but look at the strength in the league. The Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs, to get out of the Western Conference against way better teams. Kobe Bryant was the guy.
Okay, didn't you say earlier that Kobe closed the game?
Yes.
So what? Okay. Hold on. Let me land.
He did more than that in the West.
No, that's fine. So what happened in the first, second, and third quarter?
Kobe in the West against the West.
No. You said Kobe closed out the game. What did Shaq do in the first, second, and third?
Well, they were scoring about the same.
What is?
They scored. There's a point per game difference.
Sir.
In the 4 finals runs through all the playoff games, about 90 games, Shaq scored.
We're talking about Batman and Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Kobe was never a Superman.
No, I'd say Shaq was Superman. Kobe was Batman. If I had.
No. Kobe's not even Batman.
Yeah,
Kobe is Robin.
He's Batman.
No, he's not.
Can I touch on something that I talked about before? So when Kobe became a starter at the age of 20, besides Shaquille O'Neal, they played in 6 years. I'm gonna retouch on this. Shaq was 67 and 33.
Great.
Okay. And won 3 titles. In the other 13 years that Shaq was in the NBA, he was only 62 and 54, won 1 championship. And that was why, other than Kobe in those 13 years, he played with 7 other top 75 players that included LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Steve Nash, Kevin Garnett. I'm just saying, who did Kobe Bryant have outside of Shaquille O'Neal for his 12 years after Shaq left? Pau Gasol, that's it. And he played with the only top 75 player Kobe Bryant played with outside of Shaquille O'Neal in 12 years was Steve Nash for 50 games, and Nash was 38 years old.
I don't even know why
Kobe still won more.
I don't even know why you brought up Nash. They were completely washed at the time. When Kobe played with Shaq,
they were Kobe's players.
Shaq was Kobe's daddy. There was no issue.
What is with you and daddy? Do you have daddy issues?
It's okay.
You said before LeBron's everybody's daddy. Nash, Shaq's Kobe's daddy. Do you have daddy issues?
He just kidding. I don't have daddy issues. I don't have daddy issues. Do you have daddy issues?
No, I'm not saying daddy all the time like you.
So obviously Kobe didn't get along with his father. Kobe didn't get along with his father. So Shaq was the daddy. I'm sorry.
No team wins with 1 All-Star. Shaq needed Kobe. Kobe needed Shaq. But in that time, and I'm talking their years from when they won their first title in the entire, not just the West, the entire league.
First title.
Teams around besides the Lakers, they were building them.
He definitely sounds like he should have glasses on. You sound like Stuart Little. He sounds like the Eric from Drake and Josh. Like, bro, why do they have this guy here?
They weren't building themselves to stop Kobe. Kobe was able to take advantage of that. Obviously, Kobe's a great player, but these teams were getting like 3 starting caliber centers. The Pacers needed Antonio Davis.
It was easier for Kobe.
And here's the thing about LeBron fans too. They all have the same talking points. That's how you know that they don't really know what the hell they're talking about. They just listen to Nick Ron, listen to Kendrick Perkins, listen to Colin Turd, listen to all these other high paid analysts, LeBron media. Oh, my bad, Shannon Sharp, of course, too. All these other clowns that are paid by Unclutched Sports, and they get their material and they go out and say it and think they're really saying something.
Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, the Sixers, Dikembe Mutombo, Matt Geiger, whoever their other guy was. The one time, again, Kobe lit it up with those in that strategy. The one game plan.
Because why? Because it was easier because they were focused on Shaq.
They were focused on Shaq. They weren't building
themselves.
Finish
your point. Yeah, finish your
point. The Detroit Pistons. Let's go to 04. Chauncey Billups has stated this. We knew we were never going to stop Shaq. Our game plan was simple. For the first time, we're gonna guard Shaq one-on-one. We're gonna let Ben Wallace do that, and then Kobe's gonna get frustrated because we're gonna keep going to Shaq. And Kobe in that series choked because he wasn't getting his touches, and therefore was forcing the game.
Let me get this. First of all, you're referencing the 2004 Detroit Pistons, who are, in fact, the #1 rated net defense in the last 37 years. So you're referencing one of the greatest defensive teams of all time.
But I'm talking about their game plan. I'm talking about the approach.
All right. Let's talk about 2001, which I believe is one of the greatest teams of all time. We're going to talk about that team later on. In 46 games that Kobe played without Shaquille O'Neal, 46 games, he played an entire game without Shaq from 2000 to 2004. In those games, Kobe Bryant averaged 30 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, all better than when he was playing with Shaquille O'Neal. But let's look at 2001, one of the greatest teams of all time. With Shaq on the floor per 100 possessions, which there are about 100 possessions played in today's NBA. So that's how much harder. I'm normalizing the pace from today's NBA back to 2001. Kobe Bryant averaged 33 points per game on 55% true shooting percentage with Shaq on the floor per 100 possessions. Now that tracks every second that Kobe played with Shaq during that year. With Shaq off the floor during that year, for every second average out per 100 possession rate, Kobe Bryant averaged 44 points per game that year, jumped from 33 to 44 without Shaq, and that was wild. His true shooting percentage only dipped 1 percentage point. 54, still higher than league average. That is what Kobe was doing without Shaq. So to say that he had his way because they were doubting on Shaq is just outright and unequivocally false.
But it's not, and I'm not saying Kobe's a bad player. I'm just saying this, in certain situations, the Nets.
You're saying you don't know what you're talking about. He just cooked you. That's what you're saying. Because like I said, he got that from Nick Ron, probably. Because Nick Ron is like the captain of all these idiots. Shannon Sharp is more so the mascot because, he's super hyperactive with the bullshit. He's the funny guy. And nothing against Unc, man. I rock with him. But, man, come on. He be bullshitting. He know he do. But, it's just bullshit that they be getting from them, and then they'll pick it up, not knowing that somebody who actually knows basketball, like Skap, it's not going to work with them.
When they were trying to go back to the finals, they were trying to get Alonzo Mourning because they were gearing up for Shaq. No team was going to trade for Ron Artest to shut down Kobe at that time. They both needed each other. That's a fact. All I'm saying is
they were co-best players.
In that time period, they were gearing up for Shaq, not Kobe. Kobe was having his will against the Sixers. He was getting guarded by Eric Snow.
Also, I'll give him a little bit of some grace of what he's saying, right? I mean, it's not because Shaq was still not supporting him that much. It's not so much that Shaq was just so much better than Kobe that they decided they wanted to take, they focal point was on Shaq. Shaq can get his points much easier. And just because you can get it easier because of your size doesn't necessarily mean that you're just overall better, because it's other things that factors in. Kobe's shooting majority of his shots probably from anywhere between 15, 17 feet. And Shaq is shooting his between, 3 to 2 feet. I mean, it's just simply a much easier shot. So you're going to want to stop the dominance that's giving you a much higher percentage because you're so close to the basket than you would a jump shooter.
Oh, they weren't going to get Kobe stoppers. They were going to get Shaq stoppers. And that's where I'm walking off.
My next claim is, because we just talked about it, let's keep it going. The 2001 Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history.
2001, they was nice.
Okay. I'm going to let this roll out again, but I definitely want to hear this out. Because I don't know. That's a pretty strong claim there, Skap. 2001 Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history. I mean, you can make an argument, I suppose. They were great. I mean, you have I would say their only competitors is 3 teams, in my opinion, I would say. You obviously have the 1996 Chicago Bulls. You have the 2017 Golden State Warriors. You have the 1986 Boston Celtics. Those are the competition that I say you would have to be able to argue that it's better than the 01 Lakers. Shaq would be a problem regardless. Damn. But I'm gonna say this. I can't see them being better than the 96 Bulls. And the reason why I'll say that is because Rodman has already proven that he can deal with Shaq. Not saying that he can just outright stop him, but he can deal with him. I mean, he dealt with the Orlando Magic Shaq. Yeah, Shaq hadn't quite reached his prime yet, but this Shaq was, more athletic, more mobile. He could move around more. The 01 Shaq was, had a little bit more weight on him. I would say it made him more powerful and stuff like that, but he wasn't moving like the Orlando Shaq. So, do I think Dennis, along with Lonely helping out and stuff like that, could contain him enough so that they can be able to win? To put him in a position where I would say the X factor would be how well, if they were to face off, obviously, Scotty would do. You know what I'm saying? And Michael is going to be Michael. We know that. Kobe is going to be Kobe. But I mean, if we're going to choose between the two, I'm going to take Mike. So I don't know if you can argue they're the greatest thing. But like I said, I ain't going to say I don't know if you can argue. I would say I don't know if I would say they were. Then you got that 2017 Golden State team. I know a lot of people will go against it because they're going to say they don't have the size to be able to deal with Shaq, which is pretty much true. I mean, there's no way in hell Shaq is. I mean, Draymond is guarding Shaq. Neither is Zaza Pachulia or whoever. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have anyone that can. But here's where the problem would lie. It would depend on what rules are we playing. Because if they're playing the rules of today, where it's freedom of movement and all of that, Golden State has a legitimate shot, I think, of defeating them because of the 3-ball, but it also would make Shaq and Kobe way more tougher to guard. I must say that too. So, I don't know. It'll be tough.
Would it be Shaq? Would it be Kobe? Tyronn Lue?
You just listed Tyronn Lue as one of their good players.
He's all right. I mean, I'm making you look kind of bad because without Shaq, without Kobe, without other players, I mean, what do the Lakers really have? Rick Fox was nice, but was he always wet? Nah, not really. And who did they go against? 2001 76ers, Allen Iverson, they stole game 1, and Kobe was in the locker room. That little mother.
Are you saying that the Sixers weren't good that year?
No, I'm not saying they wasn't
diminishing
good.
the Sixers?
What I'm saying is,
can I tell you something about the Sixers that year, please?
Yeah.
Because you
can
clearly don't know.
But I do. But
go on then. Tell me about their accolades that year.
I mean,
tell me what they did. Tell me what they did.
Okay. You had the 6th man that year.
6th man of the year that year, correct? Aaron McKee.
You had the
no, it was go. Keep going.
You had Snow. You had the head coach of the year.
Head coach of the year as well. Larry Brown, coach of the year that year.
You had the Kembe Mutombo.
Who was what that year?
The
defensive player of the year that year.
I see what you're trying to do.
And Allen Iverson, who was the league MVP
that
year.
He was.
And they won.
And that's another thing. I'm going to say this, because I definitely grew up where people saying how trash that 01 76ers team was, to say that, you know, Iverson literally carried bombs. And then, you know, as I got older and knew and was more so a student of the game and learned all of those accolades like they're speaking of right now, figured out that Sixers team was pretty solid, very similar to what LeBron James had in 07. But they love to praise him like he just was this guy for making it to the finals, when Allen Iverson literally did the same thing.
He 56 games, which was tied for the Lakers as the second highest win total that season. And you're talking about the Sixers that year were some scrub team. Are you kidding me?
I didn't say they was a scrub team. I'm saying they was good, but if we're being honest, was they only just good in the East? Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. What did they do in the West? Can we go over what the Lakers did in the West that year?
Yeah, the Lakers did a lot, but wasn't that the same? Was that the same season that old boy was throwing some money on the Sacramento Kings game? No,
that was the following.
That was 2002. Either or. I mean,
come on, get your numbers right.
Hold on. That Lakers team. I mean, yeah, they were playing pretty good, but who did they really play against? They played a good team, but it was
I can tell you. I can tell you who they played. Since you can't tell us, let me tell us.
Okay.
They had the second hardest run in NBA history based on SRS. That's
you
simple
keep
rating
talking about
system.
numbers. Who is SRS? What are these numbers?
That is simple rating system. It tracks not only how many games his opponents won, but how they won those games against the quality of opponents that they faced. So it was the second most difficult run ever in league history based on SRS, behind only the 95 Houston Rockets. However, that 2001 Lakers team, against that difficult field of all 50-plus win opponents, the Lakers produced the second highest margin of victory per game throughout that postseason. So wait a second. The team that faced the second hardest run ever beat that field by the second highest number ever?
Didn't Kobe say we are lucky that Allen Iverson is not at least, what, 6-something?
Is that your argument right now?
Yeah, that is my
argument.
If
Allen Iverson was 6'6", that would have been a harder series?
I mean, Kobe said it.
Interesting.
Kobe said it. So that's proving my point.
I'm sorry, KJ, I cannot speculate on what would happen if Allen Iverson grew 6 inches.
Kobe said it. Kobe said it. Kobe said we're lucky. Hey, guys, not taller.
Can I give you two teams that I would put up there that rival that?
100%.
So, I mean, I think the obvious one is the 72-10 Chicago Bulls. I think the fact they have the all-time win record, you know, winning that championship that year, best player or second best player of all time, Michael Jordan.
Look, he got caught. See, LeBron fans are terrible, bro. Like, you know the truth, but y'all just gotta lie. Even God made you say, nigga, you know Michael Jordan the best. He had to hurry up and switch it. You know he's the best, bro. And LeBron's not even number 2. LeBron's freaking number 8, probably, bro. Stop it.
Pippen again, I would argue, arguably the most underrated player of all time. There's that
one.
No,
he's not.
Another underrated team I'm going to give you, though, and, you know, I don't have I'll be honest with you, I don't have the advanced metrics to back it up, but from watching that team, the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, the depth.
LeBron fans have to be stopped, bro. They have to be stopped, bro. The only reason why he is bringing up the 2014 Spurs is because they beat the living shit out of LeBron James at a record-setting margin. That's the only reason why he's saying that. They have to – see, this is another thing, a classic tactic by the LeBron James committee. They have to overrate anybody that has beaten LeBron, who's beaten the dog shit out of LeBron. Because if they don't, then they have to answer, hey, why did LeBron lose so badly to this team or this player? they have to give an answer for that. So they got to make it seem like that player or that team was so good, the reason why he lost, and they ganged up on him. That's what he's doing right now. Was that 2014 team, Spurs team, great? A well-oiled machine? Yes. They had a lot of solid pieces. It was, no egos and stuff like that. Kawhi Leonard was not even Kawhi Leonard yet, which is crazy. Tim Duncan was much older. He was not the same Tim Duncan that he was 2 years ago. Neither was Manu Ginobili, neither was Tony Parker, and then they had a bunch of great role players, right? So he's only mentioning that because they got their ass blown out. LeBron James is overrated as hell and underachieved per usual. But you are crazy if you think you can argue the 2014 San Antonio Spurs was the greatest team of all time. I'm pretty sure nobody on that roster, the coach, the damn owner, nobody believes that they were the greatest team ever. You're tripping. You're glad only saying that because you are a LeBron James fanatic. You are part of the Bron Sexers. You are part of the LBJTQ. That my boy D. Allen said. Shout out to my boy D. Allen.
That team held, the ball movement, the way that the system they played in with Greg Popovich, the aging stars they had, the ability for them to turn back the clock, those three in Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan, and guys like Patty Mills, Boris Diaw playing, well above, I think, with their talent level. But within that system, watching that team, the dominance they went on, I would put those two teams as rivals to that 01 Lakers team, despite how great that team was.
Yeah, and the reason, look, you brought up a great full team in San Antonio, and there are no doubt better complete 1 through 10 teams, like a myriad of them throughout the history of NBA. But the reason why I think so highly of the 2001 Lakers, first of all, is because of the accomplishments that I just
and Kobe Bryant
is the fact that they did play such an extremely difficult path to get the championship, they obliterated the field. They went 15-1 against that field and produced the second highest margin of differential against the second hardest run ever. And they ended the year that year in the regular season on an 8-0 run. So they really were 23-1 in their last 24 games that year. The only loss was to that 76ers team in overtime. That was the sole blemish. But in addition to the tangible accomplishments that I just produced, it's the only time in NBA history, in my opinion, that the two best players in the world in their prime were on the same team doing.
Now, this here is a very strong argument. I'll give him this. That makes his argument very strong. I don't think I can think of another time, possibly, that you can say both the best player in the league and the second best player in the league was on the same team. I mean, the closest thing that you can get to maybe to argue that, I'll give you two. Maybe you can argue that in the 80s with Magic and Kareem, maybe you can argue that. And the next closest thing that you can say to that could be Steph Curry and Kevin Durant in 2017. But of course, LeBron James fans would heavily contest to that. And honestly, I wouldn't just be totally against that. You can absolutely argue LeBron was the greatest player and best player in the league during that time. So I wouldn't be against it. But I'm just trying to throw something out there that you can kind of be able to argue that. But for the most part, yeah, I think unquestionably in 01, Shaq and Kobe were probably number 1 and number 2. Whichever order you want to put them in doesn't really matter. But yeah.
Their thing, which was Shaq and Kobe. That's why they were so unstoppable. In that postseason, average nightly scoring in the playoffs that year, 93 points per game. So think about that, 93 points per game. Now listen to what Shaq and Kobe did in that postseason for 16 games. 30 and 15 for Shaq per game. 29, 7 and 6 for Kobe on average. Those two guys were laying that down against that defensive field that they were playing, and they did that again in that era at 93 points per game. Like, we've never seen two dominant, and they just the front court and the back court. Like they complemented each other perfectly. That's why I just don't think any team is beating them 4 times out of 7.
And I want to correct myself about the Chicago Bulls. It was the win record at the time. Obviously, the Warriors ended up completing that. They would have been the greatest team of all time, in my opinion, if they didn't choke to the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. But
sorry, it bothers me every time one of them LeBron fans say that. It really do, bro. He did not stop giving LeBron credit for shit he doesn't deserve credit for. I guess you deserve a little credit for, I guess, pulling it off. But let's add the context to it. Steph Curry was hobbled. Andre Iguodala was hobbled. Andrew Bogut got injured in Game 5. Draymond Green got suspended for a Game 5. Kyrie Irving was playing out of his mind. That's what it took for them to come back. It's not like LeBron just put his wheel down. And the biggest thing I think that makes you guys the biggest, most stupid pieces of shit of a fan base that I've ever seen is you love to talk about how he came back from 3-1, but you never seem to think about how the hell, if he was so great, how the hell did he get down 3-1? You I almost called y'all that word again, but y'all be acting like it because it don't make any sense to anybody that has a brain. Anybody that you don't even have to watch basketball. Let's just throw basketball out of the picture. Just talk to somebody that's just regular to just about anything. You be like, hey, imagine trying to prove to them, hey, this is the greatest player ever. Look, he came back from a 3-1 deficit. That's never been done in the finals. And then anybody with sense, it's going to be like, okay, that's cool and all, but how did he get down 3-1? You would have to explain that. You're going to make up excuses, which is what you guys do all the time. Make up excuses because that's what you do. You make up excuses. You don't hold him accountable. Very similar to women. Like I said, you LeBron James fans act like women. That's why I call you the beehive of the NBA.
That's besides the point. Michael, that Chicago Bulls team, again, I mentioned that Spurs team because to me, I think they're one of the forgotten championship teams and they deserve to be mentioned. I'll finish off with this. The Chicago Bulls team, to me, when you have the best record coupled with that championship, I just think that combination of the two of them, despite everything that you mentioned, because you're not wrong in what you're saying, that Chicago Bulls team to complete that three-peat, the ability again to win 72 games and win that title coupled all together, to me, that just can't be rivaled. But listen, good point.
Who would Shaq guard if they played the Golden State Warriors with KD, Steph Curry in the death lineup?
Who would guard Shaq?
I'm asking you a question.
Well, their center technically was Draymond Green. There's an evolution of the game. Draymond Green played the majority of their minutes at big.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 6'6", 230 pounds,
If
bro.
you don't guard Draymond, he's going to initiate all the offense. Everything's going to go crazy. Steph Curry's going to be having gravity. You give it to KD, he's an instant bucket, a better scorer than Kobe Bryant.
Not even close. But who's going to guard? You asked me who's going to guard, who Shaq will guard. Who's going to guard Shaq? Draymond then will guard Shaq at the other end. Draymond Green, hold on. Draymond,
you're good at stats. Wait, give me one thing. You're good at stats, right?
Yeah.
What's worth more, 3 or 2?
Who's going to shoot a higher percentage, a dunk or a three-point shot?
With Steph and KD, they're very efficient.
Three-point shooting is about what, 35%?
Two of the greatest three-point shooters ever.
37%?
Two of the
35, 37%? What's Shaq shooting at the basket with Draymond Green?
Another thing.
80%?
You just talked
90%?
about how Kobe had a terrible supporting cast. Who's their third best player? You named Draymond Green.
There were some good defenders, though, on that team.
Can I say something? Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. You said the third best player was Derek Fisher, and you said he's not good, which made Kobe Bryant better in your mind. You dissed your own supporting cast, and now you're saying they're the greatest team ever. Depth matters.
I'm saying from a defensive standpoint, you're asking who's going to guard. They had good perimeter defenders on that 2001 team.
You just dissed the supporting cast, and now you're saying they're the greatest team ever.
In terms of offensive firepower, sure. When you look at the 2001
so how are they the greatest team?
Because they had the two best players in the NBA.
How about depth of scoring?
When has that ever happened?
How about depth of
when has it ever happened that they're the two best players in their primes were on one team at one time?
KD, Kevin Durant.
They were,
so they were better than LeBron.
So they were better.
Pippen,
they were
Michael
both
Jordan,
better.
And Michael Jordan would be the best player on the court. Clearly, even you admit that.
The other player, though, I'm saying the top two, Shaq and Kobe, were the two best players in the world at that time in their primes. Steph and KD were not the best two players. LeBron James was
Yeah, because
floating
LeBron
around
wasn't in
the
his
NBA.
prime. Exactly.
Pippen
LeBron would
was
have been the
not-
best player back
Pippen
then.
was not the second best player. Pippen was
LeBron
not-
would have been the best player back then. So what are you talking about? You're not even comparing two on two.
I'm saying in the context that we're talking about, there has never been a time in the league where the two best players
Okay, you
at
keep
that
saying the same thing
time
over and over again.
are right. So that, but you're not answering it though. But let me, if I may, let me just finish your point that you started with. Draymond Green logged a substantial amount of minutes as the big on that team that you're referencing. Draymond Green's height and weight list, 6'6", 230 pounds. That's what he's listed as.
He's one of the greatest. Can I finish my point? He's one of the greatest defenders to ever live, and he initiates offense. He's more. So listen, he's more of a point guard than a big.
He's 6'6", 230. He would be guarding Shaq, whose list weight and height was 7'1", 325. He's a half a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier.
The Lakers
and that's the answer they have for Shaquille O'Neal. And that's the team you bring to me. Is that Warriors team? Because what? You think that they're going to be able to run around and shoot more threes?
They
are.
That
2001
There's
team
the evolution of
the
game.
That 2001 team had good perimeter defenders, though.
Who?
Kobe Bryant and Rick Fox.
Rick Fox?
Rick Fox was a good perimeter defender.
You know that supporting cast wasn't good. You said it yourself in your own argument, and now you're also saying they're the greatest team.
That doesn't mean they can't defend the three-point shooters.
They were not. Listen, 72-10 Bulls, better. Those Warriors team, better. Celtics won 9 out of 11 back then. I would even say Bird, McHale, and Parrish as a trio is better than any trio the Lakers ever had, especially in that era.
Definitely not the 80s Showtime. Are you kidding me?
A better team than that 2001 Lakers team is the 2016 Cavs that came back down from 3-1 to beat the Warriors. So they won the first two series in a sweep.
LeBron fans have to be stopped, bro. They have to be stopped, bro. We need to find a facility to just put these clowns in, that they can just only speak among each other. Like, they should only be able to talk to each other, bro. Do not talk to real basketball fans that knows basketball knowledge, saying dumb, stupid shit like this. Look at this clown. The 2016 Cavaliers, are you fucking serious? This man here. They got down 3-1. How can the greatest team of all time get down 3-1, you dumb, goofy clown? Then you got swept. That same team got swept. But y'all are stupid, bro. LeBron fans, y'all are stupid.
Just smart. Doesn't matter. They sweep. They beat the competition. They destroyed them. Then
not as bad as the 2001 team did to their competition against better competition.
Okay. Then Marcus Smart hit a lucky shot. They would have swept the Celtics to make it to the next round. Okay. Then they come down against what was the greatest team of all time at the time. 73-9, the death lineup, and they come back and they win 3-1. And not only that, they won in a myriad of ways, which is one of your favorite words. Okay, they won
like that word.
They won in a low-scoring game in Game 7. They would win in high-scoring games. I don't have all the advanced stats, but they could win in all these different types of ways. And the
shit he is saying. Listen to this stupid shit. What is Johnny Bravo talking about, bruh? This man is dumb as hell, bruh. You can't argue that a team that was down 3-1 is the greatest team ever. You are freaking crazy. There's no way a team that's down 3-1. See, and then this is the thing. I have never seen, bro, y'all are retarded, bro. So basically, y'all try to give LeBron credit for losing, then coming back. But so that makes them better than the other teams that never found themselves down 3-1 because they were able to put away their competition sooner. So that makes them better. Y'all are, bro, they need to go back to school. They need to go to somewhere.
Question that you've been asking everyone, who would guard Shaq? There's two people who would guard Shaq. One, Kevin Love. Look at what he did against
Skap had to laugh too. That is crazy. Well, he's the worst one I've seen. I think, have we seen this guy yet? I think this is the first time we've seen him. This is crazy. Literally, this is crazy. This man just said Kevin Love is going to guard Shaquille O'Neal. Are we talking about the same beast that was 7'1", 330 pounds, that dominated the entire league, that was pulling down the rim. Kevin Love is going to guard that guy. This is insane. This dude need to be stopped. Skap, they need to kick this nigga out. He need to go. This nigga gotta go. There's no fucking way. And I can guarantee you he's probably going to try to talk about how Kevin Love was able to stop Steph Curry for one possession. And then on top of it, what's so utterly stupid about this comparison is Steph Curry is a jump shooter, people. You can sometimes just simply miss the shot. A three-point shot is much more challenging than a shot right at the basket. Shaquille O'Neal is going to be right at the basket. He's going to dunk all over the cap. Did you see the play where Shaq dunked on the guy and pushed him down? The guy got mad and threw the ball up. But this is crazy.
Look at what he did against Steph Curry. He could also go respond.
Exactly.
Look at what he did against Steph Curry. You remember that? Remember the play against Steph Curry? He could also do that against Shaq. And also the Cavs had Delly. There's nobody on the Lakers who could have guarded Delly, all right?
Shaq did that spin move, dunked on someone, put his crotch up in his face, and then pushed him over. That would be against Kevin Love every single time.
Do you remember when
the Warriors were 73-9 in the regular season? Do you know what their record was that year in the playoffs?
They lost 7 games.
No, they lost 8 games. They were 15-8. They were 15. Okay. So they were 73-9 in the regular season, but they were only 15-8 in the playoffs. And they were down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals and getting obliterated by the Oklahoma City Thunder until Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook threw up all over themselves in Game 6 and let them come back and win. That was a different Warriors team at that time. They were depreciated. Curry was hurt. We had the Draymond Green suspension. Other players on that team, bigs predominantly, got hurt on that Warriors team as well. So yes, they came back and they won a 7-game series with Kyrie Irving cooking as well as LeBron in games 5, 6, and 7. But they didn't beat anybody to get out of the East. So I do not put that Cavs team very highly myself. But interesting point. Kevin Love versus Shaq head-to-head. I'm impressed. My next claim is that Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time.
Easily.
Do we forget?
Easily. And these clowns about to come up here and say some stupid shit. I already know it. Like, he's easily. Magic Johnson is the only one that you low-key could argue is the best. Like they even try to argue that. Did you see the dumb shit John Sally said maybe, 2 weeks ago? Tried to say LeBron's the top 5 Laker. That's how you know he be paying these old-ass niggas to say stupid shit. Because there's absolutely no way under any circumstances that you can believe that LeBron James is a top 5 Laker. When there's so many great Lakers. Like, he left out Shaq. Are we fucking serious? The only one that you can argue legitimately that you can say goes before, I'll even give you 3, even though I think they kind of shouldn't be in there. You can argue Magic. I'll entertain Kareem, and maybe you can entertain a little bit of Jerry West, but not really because he lost too much. Just keeping it above. But, bro, it's definitely Kobe. The most points. He had 5 championships. He played for 20 years, the most, bro, is definitely Kobe. Like, also, if you live in LA, bro, like I live in LA, LA embraces the hell out of Kobe way more than any other player. It's a reason for it. It's not because they just took a liking to him. It's because he's literally the greatest Laker of all time.
Magic Johnson exists.
No, I'm well aware of
the
Magic.
Man who popularized the Lakers. There is no Lakers the
Magic.
way we know the Lakers as they are today without Magic, who was the conductor, the catalyst, the nucleus, all the words you want to use that made Showtime basketball. We're talking 12 years, 9 trips to the finals, 9-time first team All-NBA, 5-time champion, the same amount as Kobe. And Kobe played damn near double the amount of years that Magic did.
Kobe played 13 healthy years. He had season-ending injuries his last 3 years.
You can take off all the years of Kobe's career in hypothetical land you want. The fact of the matter is he was on the Lakers roster. And he did not play those years. That's not a positive. He wasn't on the court. Your job is to be available.
Let me just interject here real quick.
Go for it.
Magic Johnson won every single one. You guys have routinely diminish Kobe Bryant because he played with Shaq. Magic Johnson won every single one of his 5 titles with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is better than Shaquille O'Neal. He is above Shaquille O'Neal on any listicle or periodical you want to find. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the greatest basketball resume of all time, and Magic won every single one of his titles with Kareem. But not just that. He won, I believe, 3 of his 5 came with James Worthy, who is a top 50 player of all time. That was his 3rd option. Kobe Bryant's running around here with Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom and going to 3 straight finals, winning back-to-back against more 50-win teams in that 3-year span than Magic Johnson played in his entire career to get 5 NBA championships. So that amount of supporting cast against those weak opponents other than the guys that he got in the finals, and you're going to try to hold up the fact that he had 5 championships as some kind of a claim against Kobe. The fact that Kobe still got 5 somehow, as many as Magic, is a testament to Kobe.
All right, let's address 2 points here. Number 1, if only there was an award that takes out your individual contribution to your team. They got a name for it. MVP, right? Magic got 3 of them. Kobe got 1.
All right.
We can agree and disagree at the same time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a better player all time than Shaq, right?
Better than Magic.
Was the version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for at least 4 out of the 5 of Magic rings? Was that the version we're really talking about? Are we talking about the 6? Are we talking about the guy
he
that
was
was
a league MVP the
there?
first year, like the year that you guys want to talk about where Magic won Finals MVP? Kareem was the league MVP that year. And
that's why I said 4 out of 5
per game in the playoffs.
That's why I said 4. Just like you, I like to cherry pick.
Let's go MVP though, because MVP is one of the most glaring claims that I hear against Kobe Bryant. Real quick, there are 6 players in NBA history that have at least 10 top 5 MVP finishes. 6 and only 6. All right, Kareem has the most with 15. LeBron has the second most with 14. Kobe has 11. Bill Russell had 11. Jordan had only 10, and Wilt had 10. Of the 6 names I just listed off, 5 of the 6 guys on that list have a minimum of 4 league MVPs. Kobe Bryant somehow only has 1 because it was a popularity contest and the media voting on it absolutely despised Kobe Bryant. So I'm not talking about popularity contests, media bestowed accolades. I'm talking about tangible on-court accomplishments.
What'd you say earlier? It's not what's under the mat.
I mean, he's definitely got a point. I absolutely believe that they dislike Kobe for whatever reason they had. Because there's no way you can tell me he only supposed to get 1 Finals MVP. I mean, not Finals, season MVP. That's crazy. Like, you could have argued that he could have won it in 06 for sure. Not really. I would say probably because his team record was too low. I think they were the 7th seed that year. But absolutely, what was it, 08? You could have argued that the 10 year. But they don't, they don't look at that. And I'll also, because I'm pretty sure he's, like I said, the only people that hate Kobe are LeBron fans. So, pretty sure he's a LeBron fan. And LeBron has 2 MVPs that he doesn't deserve. I'm just going to be honest with you. The ones he got with the Miami Heat, he should not have gotten them. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Because typically, you don't get the MVP when you're on the super team. They didn't give it to Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. But somehow LeBron won back-to-back. It's crazy. Why? Because LeBron is the media darling. Kobe was somebody that they didn't like. I don't know if it's just because of that grape case, or maybe it's because Kobe didn't want to be the face of the league that they wanted him to be. Whatever the reason was, they didn't like him.
Ask is who you do, it's what you do, it's the Batman quote. That's what you said. We're not talking about the hypothetical land where he's top 5 and didn't win the MVP. We're talking about the guys who actually
MVPs are just
won it.
hypotheticals in general. The MVP.
No, those are voted on by the same people that vote for All NBA. So if you're going to count the All NBA,
we don't have to talk about All NBA. But if you want to talk MVP and talk about it, and then we can apply the same standard to the All NBA teams. Kobe Bryant has the second most All NBA selections of all time. He has the second most defensive selections of all time. So I guess Kobe's a slam dunk top 3 player all time. Then, if we're talking about
5
media
is cool.
bestowed awards,
He's good at 5. We'll take him at 5.
Well. So
well.
Well, it is true. When you speak of the Showtime Lakers, you think about Magic more than often. I'm actually going to say Kareem is the most important Laker of all time. Reason being because, of course, he has the most accolades, 6 NBA championships, 6 MVPs, and of course, other than what just happened a couple years ago with LeBron overpassing him in the all-time scoring list, the guy's resume is just impeccable. Like, literally, he is the Lakers. Now, I don't understand why you keep bringing up Kobe so much in terms of he's the greatest Laker because he worked so hard. Like, literally,
I never said that. You guys keep putting that.
No, but this is what you're bringing up, because you're like, oh, he's played against 50-win teams. He's done this. He's done that. And I'm like, okay, but just because.
Hold on. Let's talk about tangible on-court production then and accomplishments.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because he only has one MVP. He only has one MVP.
That's not a tangible. We just covered that's a media bestowed accolade. I'm talking about on-court accomplishments. First of all, and to address Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he did not win all of those accolades in LA. He had a career before that in Milwaukee.
But he still had
won
more.
MVPs.
He still had more.
He won MVPs in Milwaukee. He won one of his 5.
He still had
more
accolades.
Hold on. So he didn't play his whole career
as far as LA.
So he didn't play.
Because I let you. No. I'm just saying because you've been speaking the whole time.
I want to talk about Kobe's.
No, I'm just saying as far as accolades. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, even though he didn't win
Let's
all
talk about
of those
accomplishments on the court, though.
But you just told it. You just
Kobe
brought
Bryant
it back to
played
accolades.
more games,
you
more
just
minutes, and scored more
accolades.
points than anybody in Lakers history, more than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, but Kareem's more in points. He's more
He's
points
not
all time.
Not in a Lakers uniform.
Okay, but as an overall,
we're not talking about his overall product. We're talking about overall, the best Laker of all time.
I still would take Kareem because even though he didn't win all of his accolades with LA, he still has more accolades in LA than Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant he's the #1 leader in games played, minutes played, points scored, wins total as a Laker. He won 5 NBA championships, and he spent every single second of his NBA career, a 20-year career, in a Lakers jersey. At the time he retired, he spent more time in a Lakers jersey than he did on earth. And then he carried on afterwards. The way he is beloved and the imagery that he still exists as today throughout Los Angeles, to me, it's not even close. I think it's a slam dunk. The easiest claim to defend of all of them is that Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time.
I disagree because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's literally the standard of what a Laker should be. Like, he honored and embodied the entire Laker franchise, and literally with Magic Johnson,
he's an all-time great. He's just not better than Kobe. He's just not a better Laker than Kobe.
We could agree to disagree, but honestly, I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna approach this from a different perspective.
I think I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna say for this reason alone, in terms of his impact on the Lakers. Before he got there, the Lakers, what were they most known for? They were kind of a sort of a franchise that was the lovable loser. They were always losing to the Celtics year in, year out, despite having great players in Jerry, Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, and then they got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and early on, they weren't winning there. When Magic Johnson got there, that is when the winning started. And more than anything, what are the Lakers known for as a franchise? Their royalty. It's about the pageantry. That's what Magic Johnson brought them. He created that winning identity, and he was the star amongst stars in Hollywood. It was a show because of him. That's what the Lakers love to be. They always want to be headlines. They always want to be in the news. Magic Johnson is the man that created that identity. Magic Johnson made the Laker brand.
I would say this. We just heard from someone who has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his list, who was on that same team. So I would reject the premise that Magic Johnson and Magic Johnson alone brought that. It was a cumulative response to having a top 3 to 5 all-time player in place.
That certainly helped. I won't argue that.
Magic Johnson coming in, them again.
They needed each other. Again, nobody wins alone.
Getting James Worthy, a top 50 player, them having a plethora of other elite role players during that time, and an iconic coach as well in Pat Riley, a great
100%.
GM, which is where I thought you were going to go with, was Jerry West, was where I thought you were going as the best Laker. To me, the only guy that you could argue with above Kobe maybe would be West, even though I would reject that premise as well. Kobe Bryant carried, I mean, you could say Magic created the winning. I reject that. I think it was a total, I would say Jerry West, Pat Riley, like even the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss. I think those guys, it was a comprehensive kind of accomplishment by that whole team that did that. It was not simply Magic Johnson, whereas Kobe Bryant, it was just him by himself, a loner. After Shaq left, that team would have fallen into total and utter obscurity. Kobe Bryant didn't take his talents to some other great player.
But he wanted to. But he wanted to. But he wanted to. He requested a trade.
Again, are we talking hypotheticals or what happened? Kobe
That's
Bryant
not hypothetical. He requested a trade.
Actually, too, he almost went to the Memphis Grizzlies, my hometown. A lot of y'all probably don't know that. But Jerry West, the all-time great that they're just speaking of, was up there, and he told Kobe not to go. And Kobe listened to him and stayed in LA. So he had the decision to. It don't matter. I'm pretty sure other great players has had thoughts of leaving as well. Who knows? Maybe, Kobe was also pretty close with Michael. Maybe he called Mike and had a conversation with him about it as well. And Mike told him, you got to figure it out. Stay in LA. So despite if he requested a trade and all this stuff, the reality is he stayed. You're only saying shit about that because, like always, you're a LeBron James fan.
Okay, where'd he go?
He wanted to go to Chicago.
Where did he go, though?
He didn't get traded.
Oh, but he stayed in L.A. He stemmed the tide with an absolutely abysmal supporting cast, sold the tickets, kept the Laker brand alive, and then after Pau Gasol left, they did it to him again. They brought garbage players around him. He blew his Achilles out. He still carried on the legacy, the mythos of the Lakers, and that legacy and mythos still exists to this day in Los Angeles. He is so cherished and beloved there still. To me, it's not even close. Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. All right, guys, now it's up to you to decide who won this debate. Was it me, or was it all of these Kobe haters?
Well, there you have it, people. That is Skap Attacks. One Kobe fan versus 10 Kobe haters. And they were legit. Some ugly ass, I must say. They were absolutely some ugly ass Kobe haters. AKA LeBron James fans. So definitely let me know what y'all thinking up in the comment section. I think Skap did a remarkable job, defending Kobe's honor, breaking it down with, statistics, basketball knowledge, and just overall common sense. But damn, I just know this shit is at 2 hours. Goddamn. Oh well, though. I had to do the whole video and give my commentary. Goddamn. I definitely will cut this video up for those of y'all who actually make it to this end. Congrats to you, glad niggas. I appreciate you. But like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. Most important, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.